Woo! Shout out to everybody out there listening and watching right now. CA Podcast Cap, episode 42 weeks in a row. I go by Sound, the host, and per usual, we have the producers in the corner this week. The actual Chubb corner, sometimes it'd be like missing, it's like a puzzle. Sometimes half a Chubb, got Edwin in here, substitute, but we got,
we big Chubb today.
We got Earl and Marloon doing the thing.
We are full Chubb.
Full Chubb.
Everybody's doing well.
Oh, shit.
Per usual, and if you guys don't know, that's who they are. Make sure to check them out. And shout out to Providence, Rhode Island. Thousands of people listening, watching every week. We appreciate you guys. 401 to the world. And yeah, we're going to have a regular fun episode. But at the same time, I wanted to highlight one of the people that I definitely admire and respect when it comes to, I say for the people to kind of understand on a local level, definitely, but it's definitely bigger than local. Like everything he does is very, on a universal level can be, gauged, when it comes to his professionalism, his branding, his marketing. He is also a podcaster, has his podcast. So, you technically are. It's crazy when you think about it. You got to add it to your resume now.
It's funny.
But so he's definitely not, a stranger to this type of environment, and even being on the mic. He'd be on the mic, he definitely does his thing. So I want to cover a lot of cultural topics and get his perspective on things because, I love talking to him. We could be here. We almost damn near were in here.
We did a whole podcast before the podcast.
Yeah, we did a pre-pod.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers be pre-gaming. We did a pre-pod, literally off camera, almost a damn near hour. But I could talk to him for days. He's one of those few people that I can do that with comfortably. And, for those who don't know, he is, on a local level, if you guys have heard of Day Trill, if you guys have heard of Stay Silent, the brand, if you guys have heard of a club now, new club, but definitely impacting as if it's been around for a damn near a decade, it goes by Crib. If you guys have heard of events established in the state before the club existed, already existed the events, Love You Better, the first person to bring people out here of the likes of Chase B, Travis Scott's DJ, and high names when it comes to, decorated DJs on an international level, bringing them to the small state in the country. If you guys didn't know who this person is, and you might have seen him, if you've seen his tag, we're going to get into his legal name and everything. You might have seen Where's Nasty, or you might have been at an event, because a lot of times people go to events and like, Where's Nasty's DJing, but they might never see the DJ's face, so this is going to be a dope moment for you to actually, put a face behind that brand and that actual, movement that's happening within the city. But he's here today. Where's Nasty? But introduce yourself to the people. First of all, I appreciate you, obviously,
all day, my guy.
sharing with me your time today, because I know your time is one of the most valuable things, especially, being an entrepreneur out here. I already know how it is. But introduce yourself to the people when it comes to, like, if someone were to walk in the door right now, who are you?
So I'm Jay. I DJ and do all my creative work as Where's Nasty. That's that. Like, what I mean? That's how I introduce myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm always like, my name's Jay.
Yeah.
But I DJ as Where's Nasty. Because that's like the question people always ask me. Like, what do I call you? I'm not tripping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you never been like what made you like, you never did like a DJ? Like you never were like DJ, or what made you like want not even do that?
My first DJ name was DJ International Nasty. I used to, before I was DJing, I was making music. So that's like where the whole J Nasty thing comes from. It's like my childhood nickname.
Yeah.
It was J Nasty. When I started DJing, I was DJ International Nasty because whatever. Like that was like my whole style was like playing music from like everywhere.
And where you from? What's your nationality?
Cape Verdean.
Cape Verdean, 100%, both
100%,
sides, both parents? Okay. And did you start off like International Nasty? Did you have like an international like music from Cape Verde, or what was it?
So the way I put it is, so you guys familiar with DJ Lefty?
Yeah, he has one arm, right?
Yeah, legendary,
infamous DJ. Yeah,
legendary Rhode Island DJ.
Yeah,
bigger than Rhode Island, but from Rhode Island.
Yeah.
From my neighborhood. Our families is real connected, right?
Yeah. Where's that neighborhood again? Where do you grow up in?
East side of Providence.
Okay.
So like Camp Street area, right?
Okay.
So DJ Lefty, to me, the style of DJing that you see that myself and like DJ Diamond have, DJ Lefty is the one that created that. You know what I'm saying? Like being like a Cape Verdean guy that, obviously we play our traditional music, but then we also, you know, playing hip hop, R&B, reggae.
Yeah.
But then growing up in the neighborhoods we grew up in, it's like, yo, you playing Spanish music. You know what I mean? You playing mainland African music. You playing Haitian music.
Yeah.
You playing, you know, all this music. And, you know, I would say like back when he started DJing, and then even me when I was like first starting DJing, like that style of DJing was not really a thing. Like it was like, oh, if you a hip hop DJ, you play hip hop.
Yeah.
If you a reggae DJ, you play reggae.
Yeah.
If you a Spanish DJ, you don't play hip hop in a Spanish club. You know what I'm saying?
So people stuck to their own lanes always.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so
quote unquote.
So for me, he was, you know, like he's the one. He set the reference point for that. So for me, I always looked at DJ like how, you know, right now you go to a party, you hear Afrobeat, you hear reggae, you hear
everything, a little mix of everything.
Yeah, everything. Like for me, like when I started DJing, like he was the reference point. It was like I want to be like him. And you know, like obviously you have guys like DJ Franchise, DJ Ruckus, S-Class, DJ ASAP. You know, those are all guys. But for me, DJ Lefty was, you know, like from when I was a kid, was like, oh, that's the first DJ I know.
Yeah. So then, what made you do that transition, DJ International, Nasty, to now dropping the straight DJ thing completely? Because I'm not sure if I can even quote off the top of my head who's like that. Maybe, obviously, I guess Chase B, you know, but there's not really like a major, you know, people that now are still doing it and like obviously like relevant right now, other than like you guys are the two names that come to mind right now.
I would say like for me, it definitely was intentional, because there was a point, it was like, yeah, like when I first, like DJing was my access point. Like that's like, all right, this is how I'm going to contribute. This is how I'm going to be outside doing what I'm doing. But I have so many interests outside of DJing. So people always know me, like my nickname always been Nasty. So it's like, it's not just tied to being a DJ. Like it was like, yo, that's just what people call me. You know what I mean? So for me, I want to say like 2010, 2011 is like when the Where's Nasty thing came into the fold, when I switched over. And that was kind of like, I want to say at the beginning of like Stay Silent, or when we were ideating Stay Silent and having conversations. Because before that, like, I always been active throwing parties in Rhode Island. I've been throwing parties since I was like a junior in high school, you know what I mean, like 15, 16 years old.
Wow.
And so like, you know, like at that time, like even when I was in college, you know, we were doing parties where it's like 1,000 people. We're doing Joe Vaughn's. It's flooded. Yeah. So I kind of, for me, is like, I was into different things. So it's like when I graduated from, or when I was about to graduate from like URI, you know, in the college party, like, yo, when you're a college kid, you know, this is like blog era. Like we listening to different music. So like, this is like when you were, you know, we would go to college, like say like Lil Wayne's the hottest in the hood, but then, you know, we go to URI and it's like, oh, they listening to Drake. They listening to this. Yeah. And niggas in the hood's not listening to Drake. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Or a whole different another audience now and a whole bunch of engagement. Yeah.
So for me, it was like once I graduated, it was like me and Sabrina was like, yo, how do we bring these worlds back together? Because we're into all of this different type of stuff. Like I don't want to just play just one type of music. It was like, you know, I feel like now with the internet, it's like we're all kind of consuming stuff at the same time. And I'm sure we'll get to this at later points in the 100%. Conversation. But, you know, there was a point in Rhode Island, like, when you went to a party, I mean, you didn't hear Young Thug in a party. You didn't hear Travis Scott in a party. Like, you didn't hear those type of art. You didn't hear Future in a party. Like, we was really the ones that was doing that and made that a thing before it was, like, the mainstream thing. So, I don't know. That was, like, the entry point and kind of, like, when I changed it. But, you know, it was, like, I was working in the sneaker stuff. I was working doing different fashion stuff. So, like, for me, it was never about just being a DJ. Like,
so that's more than a DJ.
Yeah, I didn't want to just express myself in that way, but that was my entry point.
Well, that's pretty cool, man, because, you know, you definitely established that whole branding mindset that you now carried on into your whole, you know, company entity. But you yourself, from an early point, you know, separated from your legal name, which is, if you don't mind sharing, what's your full legal name?
My full legal, that's funny. My full legal
name
like
Vlad or something.
is Jason Almeida.
Jason Almeida. Yeah. Wow, Jason Almeida. I'm surprised. I feel like I never knew that.
Yo, you know, it's wild because there's people that know me since I was in the 6th grade. So like, how you know what name you know me from is how long you know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. I feel like a lot of people probably don't know your name, and a lot of people probably haven't seen you without the hat.
Yeah.
Like there's always a joke he took it off. He took it off today.
I got hair.
There's always a joke that like you're like your head's is like attached with a hat because you're always rocking the fitteds.
Yo, me and my man Hill, we got this joke that's like, yo, we get haircuts to wear hats. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, that's crazy. And for those who don't know, if you guys have seen the PVD hats representing Providence, Rhode Island, smallest state in the country, the most creative capital in the entire nation, this man right here is the reason why these hats exist. You know, this is like becoming, you know, damn near what's the whole line? Damn, I made the Yankee hat more famous in the Yankee game or some shit like that. You know, it's like these hats are like, you've seen them everywhere. Like it's such a subtle, nice, you know, aesthetic, but it works as if it's like an established damn near baseball team. Like, you know.
Fun fact, Drew Barr design.
Oh, shout out to Drew Barr. You know, I thought I was wearing his kicks today. I think I was wearing them earlier at the gym, but shout out to Drew Barr. He's going to be in here soon. Providence, Rhode Island, low-key legend. The guy doesn't talk his shit. I get mad at him for that.
Big legend.
He's like, the guy's very established, but if you guys are familiar with the Bodega, you know, brand and designs, New Balance collaborations within like the last half decade, he's the man behind it. You know, he's going to be in here pretty soon, another Providence, Rhode Island legend. But speaking of yourself, so let's start a bit from the beginning, if you don't mind. So when was the first Day Trill? Because that's something that everyone knows. For those who don't know, Day Trill is like an established, for lack of better terms, like a festival. It's a festival. It's like Rhode Island's version of Rolling Loud, per se. You know, obviously there's no artists performing and stuff, and we'll get to stuff like that. But it's an event. Like, it's the most popular event of the year, every year, you know, aside from the state stuff like the Dominican Festival. Day Trill is like a thing and almost damn near a household name within our generation right now. So when was the first one that ever existed?
We started Stay Silent December 2012. The first Day Trill was June 2013. The exact date I don't know, like off the top.
And where was this?
Fet Music parking lot.
Fet Music parking lot. Wow.
Big shout to Don King. Big shout to Lizzie. Like, you know, like those are, you know what I mean? Like they really, if it wasn't for those two people kind of making us think bigger and expand the vision, I don't even know if Stay Silent would be where it's at right now. And for context for who those people are, and this will, you know, like make people understand like why we're involved with certain shit is, so the idea of PVD Fest is really built on something that came before that called Sound Session. Which was like a big, you know, basically it was PVD Fest before PVD Fest. The Black Rep used to put that together, and that was Don King who was like at the head of that. That was like his brainchild. He's also one of the people who co-founded FET, right? And then Lizzie worked at FET, and then she went on to work for the city, and is basically the lady who's in charge of PVD Fest.
Wow. Oh, wow.
You know? So like
full circle moments. That's crazy. Damn. And then what was the like amount of people at this event? Which is crazy because next year is going to make 10 years.
10 years Stay Silent, 10 years Day Trill. Yo, it's going to be.
We got to do that shit at Fenway.
Big facts.
Yo.
The first one was 30 people. I mean, everything. So like that whole time period, honestly, 2012, 2013 was a big transition for me and my whole team. Yeah. Like I said, like prior to that, like those weren't like, it's not like Day Trill was the first party we ever did and it didn't work. Like we came from me and Sabrina came from a background of doing parties for like 800 people, 1,000 people, you know what I mean? Yeah. So for us,
but not ticketed, right? Or was it?
So we
ticketed and everything.
We some of them
at the door.
There was a lot of pushback, like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, like there were certain things, like for me and Sabrina, we were starting to Stay Silent, and the whole family and extension that comes of that. Like for us, it was like, well, how do we push the taste level of what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, so when you bringing up like Rolling Loud and all this stuff, like. Like that shit didn't even exist.
I don't know
when we even first started. Like, so our reference point was like going to New York, going to DC, going to LA, going to Miami. You know what I'm saying? as like when we in college and being like, damn, like, yo, we just went here and they got this. Like, how come we don't got that back home? You know what I mean? Or like when I go out of state, I hear this type of music. How come we can't play that type of music in a party? You know what I'm saying? So that was like kind of the whole approach. So going from, you know, it's kind of like we walked away from doing these big parties that everybody's already going to doing this more smaller boutique stuff. So for us, when we doing day trills, like, granted, our goal was not for it to be like only 30 people, you know what I'm saying? But that's what it was. But you know, the next year was like we made some, because like the another thing too that a lot of people don't know about the first day trill, unless you actually went, is it was mad hot that day, and we did it from 12 to 6 o'clock, like 12 noon to 6.
Okay.
So day trill right now is typically either 4 to 10 or 3 to 9, depending on the location.
Yeah.
So when we did, you know what I'm saying? So imagine you doing at that time, day party wasn't even a thing in Rhode Island. You know what I'm saying? So
a lot of people don't be up by 12, you know?
So, you know, we learned that shit the hard way. And then, you know, so throughout the course of the time, there's 30 people there vibing. But then by the end, it's like, we're shutting down and there's like 50 people pulling up being like, yo,
wow,
like, oh, this shit's over already? Like,
yeah.
So then that's what, for the next year, we made the adjustment. Like, oh, when we do this, it got to be 4 to 10.
Facts. And in that name, Day Trill, what does that mean? What was that creation?
So I think this kind of like dates it to that time. So you got to remember, this is like prime ASAP Rocky, prime like
Bun B, like the Trill.
To be honest, not
ASAP was obviously after Bun.
Yeah, but it's like this is like that whole era of like pre SoundCloud but post blog era. That like just that energy was coming, you know what I'm saying? So like, yo, shout to my man Born Casual. Like even then we would do parties like 808s and twerk tapes where it was like an all down south party. So because you gotta remember like right now, like how you go to a party and you hear trap music at a party and you can hear that for like an hour straight, like that was not a thing. Yeah. Like we the ones that really
that had to be created back then, like like a whole niche type of like almost like a party just for that type shit.
So like like when I was like in high school or college, you go to a party, it'd be like, you walk in, the DJ's playing R&B. From R&B, they go to reggae and international music, Latin music. Then they get to the hip hop. You know what I mean? Like, it was never parties where it's like, yo, you just playing straight trap music. So I would pull up on a homie Born Casual, and I'm like, damn, this motherfucker playing like Waka Flocka. He playing, you know, but the whole night. Yeah. Like the whole, and I'm like, yo, this is my shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, we link up, we start doing parties together. So like even like him, he was on the first day trill, but like it's like a crazy story from back then. Like people who were like not at the day trill per se, but in around those parties, like they know like, yo, when Young Thug dropped that record, Two Bitches, what's the Danny Glover?
Yeah, Danny Glover.
Like, yo, it's a party. Like we played that shit 17 times. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That shit was a moment.
Like, you know what I mean?
Out, yeah.
Like,
that's a fact.
But maybe you guys could relate to this like a little bit more because you guys were younger and more like receptive to that. You know what I'm saying? To that music. But it's like in a party, you would
people
not.
Were like, what is this shit?
You were not. You know what I mean? You were not hearing like.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like it just was not a thing. So like that's kind of like the energy that was at that time. Like, God rest his soul. Like a DJ that I always wanted to play day trill, like from the beginning ideation of like when we were like talking about this and being like, oh, it'd be dope to do this. ASAP J Scott, like he was like, you know, like bro, like day trill was never created with the thought process of it's gonna be like what it is now. You know, like for me, when it grew to like, and I might even still have the post on my Instagram. I'm not sure. Like of like when day trill was like 400 people. Like for me, I was like, yo, this is the shit because it was like, yo, we're here playing the stuff that we actually want to listen to. You know what I'm saying? Like it was almost like a subculture. Like it wasn't. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't like the quote unquote it thing going on. It was like it was very niche. Yeah. In comparison to like.
It was ahead of its time because it's not what it is now.
Yeah. Sure.
And then what made it like? Did you have like any secondary names? What made you like finalize? Okay, it's gonna be called Day Trill because for some reason that name just works. Like I don't know what it is about it. It just works. Like
I don't know. Shout to my man Mark Michelson. He's like he was like a legendary like art director, right? He's like the dude that helped me do the Moody Press newspapers and shit, like designing them, right? But he will always say that he's like, yo, like you guys, you have a real skill set for picking like just names that stick and sound good. You know what I'm saying? Like again, it's like, yo, like a lot of this shit is not stuff that we sat and like had. You know, it wasn't like crazy brainstorm. It was like, oh, like that's not even the way we work. Like till this day, like some stuff is like jokes. You know what I mean?
Organic, natural, just comes up in a moment. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be like, yo, you know, like you might be listening to a song or doing something, be like, yo, it'd be fire, and then it's like, call, you know what I mean? I'll call Sabrina. I might call Hill. We might, you know what I mean? Or vice versa.
You're not sitting around like Dexter's Laboratory, like just like drafting up mad ideas and like this.
Hell no.
Yeah.
It's just just living, you know?
Yeah. Okay. No, that makes sense, man. That name to this day, you know, Day Trill, it just works. There's something about it, like, because I feel like even a lot of people who might even go, like the younger generation, might have not even heard the word trill or even know like the whole thing behind trill. But Day Trill, like, it's his own thing out here.
I felt like at that moment, like if you were of age at that moment of time, that word meant something to you know what I mean? Like it was a signaling word, like it meant something.
Ben Trill, especially that brand, the Ben Trill brand blowing up, you know, that shit was a whole, obviously tied with A$AP Rocky, you know, he was a part of that, the whole Space Ghost Perp, that whole era. But that's crazy. So
like this is like 40-ounce van Tumblr era.
Yeah, 40-ounce van. Yeah. Oh man, talk about a guy that would be canceled today. 40-ounce Van's tweets were wild. Oh my god,
legend.
Yo, legend. Those tweets were insane. So now speak about, you know, transitioning from obviously having a successful, established, you know, tradition, annual, no matter what, and you know now you do it twice a year, right? And that's always twice a year.
So before, when it was small, it was 3 times a year.
Wow.
Like, it would be like, you know, but when it was like 5, it was like a party that happened each month of the summer.
Whenever you want it to happen.
June, July, and August.
Yeah.
When it got bigger and obviously like the cost and the production value went up, it's like, yo, we're not going to be able to do this 3 times a summer. So that's when we went to like basically like the beginning and the end of the summer. Yeah.
And now what's the capacity at? Like what's the most you've had at a Day Trill?
Pushing like 4,000 people.
4,000 people. God bless. God bless.
That's wild.
Somewhere around it.
That's crazy. That's good. That's really good. And now, damn. So when it comes to that, you transition. It's still going. It's not necessarily transition. I guess a better term would be an additive to your bag of tricks. Now you have a club, but obviously you have. For those who don't know, he owns a club out here, Crib. Very poppin', but at the same time, it's not necessarily like these like hookah lounge vibes that these kids be like, yo, put through. They put 5 girls on a flyer, all these local girls on the flyers. And I know them all. I know them all.
Shouts to them.
You know, I know them all, but I'm gonna be honest, you know, personally it's not my vibe, but I get it. You know, they got a lot of my Cambodian cousins on these flyers and shit, and I hear a lot of crazy stories. To each their own. Get your money, bro. Do your thing, right? Grind it out. You know. But this is different, you know, and I'm pretty sure they can argue it, you know, and it's not necessarily hate. It's just is what it is. It's different lanes for everything. It's different things, you know. There's enough money to be made, enough, you know, room for the plants, the trees to grow. And they've established this club that it's an aesthetic that I would say for some reason it gives me like an older aesthetic, but at the same time, it obviously still appeals to the youth because there's young people in there, but not obviously freaking. Do you have an age? What's a?
I mean, it's 21. It's 21 plus. But to me, man, and this is interesting because I always see these conversations going on like on Twitter, like Rhode Island, like Twitter. And shit like that.
The 25 plus shit.
Yo, so for me, like how I look at this stuff, right? So I'm 32 years old. So like, to me, I even think it's funny like when people be like on like Twitter, like talking about like, yo, you too old to go to Day Trill. I'm like, yo, like the people who started Day Trill, you know what I mean, are 30 plus, right?
Yeah.
But
they don't know that.
Yeah. But besides that though, is like for me, I'm used to being in intergenerational parties, and I think that shit is important. So like, you know, when I go DJ in New York, when I DJ in LA, when I DJ in Miami, been these different places, like there was never really a focus on like, oh, you're this age. Like obviously at least if you're of age to be in here, then and you like what's going on, the music and the energy, then this is for you.
That's all that matters. Yeah.
So that's kind of how we've created that space. It's like it's not about like, oh, we only appeal
to that only,
to this age group. It's like, yo, like if you're a fan of music or this type of music or this type of energy, then this is for you.
Yeah.
Like a big thing for us is like, for me, like I said, like when we made the transition, like, so like a lot of these like Broad Street clubs that you see, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like now, like when you look at like say like El Patio, like I used to DJ there when it was Secreto, when it was Mangoes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All the trials and tribulations that location's gone through. Yep.
And that shit is beautiful right now.
Yeah.
Like to me, one of my favorite spots in the city.
Yeah, now it's like really, really nice. The painting mural that they got outside and everything. Yeah.
Shit is heat over there. Like I love going over there.
Yeah.
I DJ Dubai. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some people will argue, or if you've been around long enough, I was one of the first black DJs to play in them Broad Street clubs. Right?
Yeah.
But this is when VIP was VIP, when it was like the club wasn't 200 tables on the dance floor. There was no hookah. There was none of that. So like, I come from the background of DJing and parties. It was like, oh no, like we coming in here, there's a dance floor. We gonna dance,
grinding.
Vibe,
You know what I mean?
Hard.
Holding them walls like crazy.
Yeah. So like when Sabrina and I, came to the space of opening the spot or even producing events, like that's always the energy that we created. Like for us, it was like, the hookah or the bottle service, like that's not what we seek out. So we want to create something that's a reflection of what we're doing. And I think like a lot of times, like there's a lot of conversation in the city, like what if this is better or that's better. Like to me, it's not about better, it's about preference. Like I just think it's like you should have the option to do both. And that's all we want to do, was create the flip side. It's like, if you want to go, you know what I mean? Go blow the bag and have a table and do this, you can do that. But if you just like, I just want to pull up, I want to dance, and I don't want to have to worry about having a table and having that, then you could do that too,
Yeah, and if you can, real quick, for those who don't understand, for better perspective, I would compare real quick what he has as a brand and as a nightclub. For example, the WWE, you have the established WWE, right? The main company, right? But then under it, obviously you have the SmackDown Fridays, Monday Night Raws.
Very smart, man.
Yeah, Monday Night
Very
Raws.
Smart.
You have the pay-per-view. I do this thing. Pay-per-view events like the SummerSlam, Money in the Bank. WrestleMania. You can say that their WrestleMania is Day Trill, right? But everything else, just like WWE, is successful. So break down to people real quick. You have your own club, but you have different type of parties, different aesthetics. Just like WWE has different events that you go for. This one, Hell in a Cell, you might get more graphic shit here. And if you go to that one, Summer Smash, you might see the more friendlier one. Established, for those who don't know, real quick, the breakdown of each and every one of the events that you created and like the amount of them that you have.
And sidebar, like to me, I study Vince McMahon. Like,
oh yeah.
So when you said that, like I was like, you smart, because that's literally like
just retired. I think 2 days ago, Vince McMahon.
Like I think one of the greatest promoters, period.
All time.
Like period. Like, you know what I'm saying? Anything you're talking about, right?
Man.
But all right, so we have our own club. It's called Crib. For those of y'all who've been around long enough, it's where Tantric used to be on North Main Street. But inside of there, we have our monthly parties that we do. So it's not really a place where it's like you're going to see 101 different promoters. And we're typically the people that produce, I would say 95% of the events that happen at Crib. So we have Love You Better, which is our R&B party that's been going on for 6 years. Who Could Kill the Dance Floor, Bounce House occasionally. Photosynthesis, which is a cocktail night. Sugar Cane, which has been going crazy this summer. Eggs Over, which is our brunch.
The brunch.
So like, you broke it down perfectly. It's like we have all of these different niches and sections that we have, like different vibes and different energies.
Yeah, and people probably prefer one over the other, etc. But it's fine. You don't have to love everything, and they're providing you, something for everyone to vibe to, whether you want to come for brunch earlier in the morning, you want to come at night, you want an R&B night, just straight R&B. I just want to hear our R&B in a club. You're not really going to find that unless you go here, to Love You Better events.
What I noticed too is like every party is, for the you got the core people that kind of overlap and go to a lot of stuff, but it'd be different people at everything. Like it's kind of wild, B.
No, 100%, bro. When we went to recently, Love You Better, there was some. We're not gonna name them, but like some of our boys' exes and shit were popping up. Like we've seen some exes popping in, and I'm like, wow, they're here. I'm like, okay. It's like you never would expect it, but it's like that's like they got that itch in them. Like they want that R&B night. They got the vibe, and especially something like that. I feel like girls, because for the most part, I only saw girls in there. Like that night, it was like a bunch of girls.
Bro, I keep it real with you. Like stay silent events is majority women. Like
wow,
the women they hold us down. They hold us down.
That's a blessing because any business that has women as majority, you know, women are already the tastemakers. So you're doing something right. You know, I would know because I obviously study analytics and shit. So when it comes to any company where women are the make or breaks, it's like, okay, you're doing something right. That's perfect then. And what's your favorite one of all the events that you would say, aside obviously from Day Trill, when it comes to the monthly events?
You know, it's funny. I wouldn't even say Day Trill would be my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Like I always I like the
intimate
part because I feel like that's really where you could get loose. You could, you know what I mean? Like you could really go really go crazy in those parties. Right now, I would say Sugarcane is currently my favorite. That's like
is that all dance hall?
Afrobeat, Caribbean, you know what I mean? All that. Like Afro house, I'm piano. And the reason is because I think I was like outside of just the music, like that's a party that we've been trying to build for a long time. We used to throw that party under the name Tunes. And when it was Tunes, it was basically strictly dancehall reggae, right? Mm-hmm. And
it's like DJ Khaled says, right? Big tune for your head chop, big tunes. I like Sugarcane more. Yeah, I like Sugarcane.
So Sugarcane kind of widened the genres, the scope. But you know, this is a party that we all come from doing again like a 2,500, 3,000 person festival, and then go do a Tunes for 80 people. You know what I'm saying? And so to me, it was like I just like that we always kept working at it to the point where like that party's like 400 people right now. Yeah. Like consistently every month. Wow. So to me,
what's your capacity there at the club?
400.
400? Wow, sold out. Yeah. Damn. And what would you say is like the most successful thing out of it in general when it comes to like monetary gain? Is it the tickets? Is it the the bar? Like what have you learned through this process of having the club?
What I've learned is, like when they talk about like vertical integration. So like when you hear like God rest his soul, like Nipsey Hussle, they be talking about like just owning the different parts of your business. Like for me, man, I came from, I worked pretty much at every nightclub that you could think of here, throwing parties since I was 15, and my earning potential was only the door. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
that's where it started. That's where it ended.
That was it. That was it. Like that's the only way that you could make money in that. And then so even like as a DJ, like when you go DJ, it's like they just pay you your fee and that's it. So for me, being an event producer allowed me to grow my earning potential, right? Yeah. So now being a club owner, it allows me to grow my earning potential because it's a lot of clubs and we're not to keep the peace, like I told a lot of owners, I kept the lights on in a lot of clubs. Stay Silent kept the lights on in a lot of clubs, but they didn't treat us like that. You know what I'm saying? There's clubs that we've made 6-figure money and they treating us like we ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So for me,
fuck them. I'll say it. Keep going.
No, yeah, for sure, it's fuck them. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, that's the biggest thing I've learned is like, it's so many different opportunities to do things because now, like how I'm looking at this is if I wasn't in a position that we're in now as Stay Silent, and when I say we gotta like, cause a lot of people think like they think it's like, they see you DJing, it's just you. Mm-hmm. It's like we got a whole team, like a whole staff vibe, of people that's working over there. But what I was like going back to that point, like what I would say is like there's like how'd I put it? There's things that before we wouldn't be able to do because you only have the door money. So you're stuck to the vision of if the club owner is gonna be like, you know what, like we'll give you some money to do this, or you know what I mean? Like the numbers just won't work. Yeah. So now we have more opportunity to do different things. Like to be honest with you, like granted this was not able to happen because he had to cancel last minute. Chase B.
Yeah, Travis Scott's DJ.
But Chase B is at a level right now where, I mean, he gets paid a lot of money to DJ.
Yeah.
Like, it would not make sense to bring him to a club where you only making the door. So I remember, like, when we brought Chase B to Aurora in 2016, like, I remember he walked in there, he was like, it's crazy. I haven't played a room this small in so long. And that's the thing that I've realized with so many DJs is everybody is thinking about these big parties. But it's like,
take it back to the roots.
The shit that we love is when you playing for 200-300 people, man. Because you could really feel the energy in a different way. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So for me, that's kind of like where I'm at with it.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. I know that he was gonna be here recently, but I guess something happened where he got canceled and shit at the hookah the dance floor.
Yeah,
Chase B, but I saw that, I was like, that's amazing. They're really bringing Chase B to crib, and obviously it's gonna happen whenever it happens. Oof. But I was like, that's crazy, that whole concept, because obviously we had him, you brought him to Aurora, but then also the Day Trill situation, which on the surface level, you obviously is like, that makes sense. Like, okay, that's a big crowd, but then bringing him to your own fucking like club, that has to be like a crazy, like full, like 180 moment. Like, that's crazy.
It's wild, because even like with somebody like Chase B, is like we have like a lot of mutual friends in the DJ shit. Like, bro, like, I don't know, it's just wild. Like, for me, I feel like he's like the North Star or the marker for a lot of us DJs that's in this space, where it's like, bro, like, like niggas seen him really run it up from like college parties to New York hole in the wall parties to where he's at now. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like he definitely set the tone for a lot of this shit.
You saw the whole growth, man. And I would definitely say, man, we gotta somehow stop the trend of people standing in front of the DJ
Big
booth.
facts.
Oh my God, that shit gives me anxiety when they're there and you're DJing and they're standing in front of you and they're staring down at the crowd like some eagles. And I'm like, it has to be an ego boost, because I haven't done it yet, but I'm pretty sure if I were to do it, I'm like, I'll probably feel powerful up here. But it's like, bro, that shit just gives me like weird vibes. Get off of that shit.
You know what it is, man? It's like, with that shit, it's like, bro, all the women's out there. Yeah. Like, what do you like? Ain't nothing going on this stage. Like,
and it has to be for the women. Like, you want to get seen. Like, you want the girls to be like, oh, he's cute up there. But if I'm a girl, I'm looking like, oh, it's kind of scary. Like, this guy, is he security? Like, this guy gonna tackle me? Like, what is going on? Like, why is he like up there? And it's like, that we gotta stop that trend. You gotta put like some caution tape or some shit. Get motherfuckers off that.
I was having this conversation with DJ Diamond today.
Oh wow! Shout out to DJ Diamond. We're gonna have him eventually on the podcast. Legendary Rhode Island DJ, young but already a legend.
Big facts.
Yeah. So you were talking about that though. You said
we talking about that shit where it's just like, man, it's so ridiculous. Like, it's like, because there's really nothing going on. Like, it's not that exciting. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not. It's really not. But people, I mean, you get drinks inside of you. You're like, people just start acting. What's the strangest thing? I would say, what's the strangest thing you've seen throughout your career of being a DJ? Whether it's on a local level, but you've been everywhere. You literally just came from was it Paris? You were just in Paris. Motherfuckers, he's really international nasty still. He's not, where's nasty, but he's still international nasty on a real level.
They call that manifesting. Right?
Manifestation, bro. Literally decades later, manifesting it. But what's the craziest or strangest things you've seen literally before your eyes in front of you while being a DJ? That you can share.
Yeah, I'll say a lot.
Yeah, let's not incriminate nobody.
People are wild, B.
Yeah.
People, I mean, like, to me, I think the weirdest thing is like the lengths that you'll see, like, because people is like, I guess like the stereotypical groupie sexist thing that you see is like, oh, groupies are women.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like, I think the guys is worse than the girls. Like,
God, talk about it, bro.
Like, you see, guys show up to a function, they don't got a ticket to, they don't, you know what I mean? Nothing, like, they'll show up before people setting up. You know what I mean? To like
scope the area.
No, and make it look like they working so they can sneak into the party.
Oh,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how early you have to be to a party to do that? Like that's the PG version that I
that you could share. Yeah, no, 100%. No, I've seen it, man. I literally at the last Love You Better, there was like some guy with like a big shirt, and I'm like, okay, throwing it back. I see his vibe, but then he was like sweating and like dancing and grinding on girls, and then all the girls were like walking away from him. And I'm looking with my boys, I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now before our eyes? Like, do people still be moving like this out here?
Yeah.
But it's like, and a lot of people they work all week, and then on the weekends they want to party. They go to these clubs and they drink, and they
Bro, my thing is I got nothing but respect for them people.
Yeah,
Do that. I got nothing but respect. But the finessing lengths that some people go to,
God.
Is wild though.
Bro, people be thirsty. People be thirsty, man.
Wild,
and it's like, I get it. You're drunk, horny as hell. Might be rocking around with, like, they literally horny up in that bitch. They're just walking around in that bitch like nothing. Like, but it's like, bro, something needs to be done here. And it be grown ass men, but it's a part of the lifestyle. We can't do nothing. Because at the same time, if you try to plick them out and like kick them all out, then it's like you be shocked. There'll be a good amount of them that you gotta kick out, and it's like, fuck, you might not, that's a good amount of bread you missing out on if you gotta let the motherfuckers in. Yeah. But now and also when it comes to you yourself, I would say definitely one of the Rhode Island legends. Whether people don't know your name, know your face, if you're established for the parts that matter and with the people that matter. What is your favorite part of this state, Rhode Island, being one of the staples of Rhode Island?
To me, and I know this is kind of like a cliche answer, but it's really like the diversity. And the reason I say that is like, because everybody thinks about like a place like New York, right? They're like, yo, like New York is so diverse. New York's so diverse. LA is so diverse. But to me, it's the concentration that we have. Like, it's like, yo, you can be in certain states, and even though there's a large Haitian population, you never have to cross paths with them. There could be a large Caribbean, Jamaican population. You never cross paths with them. Like for us, we know, you know what I mean? Like if you from Providence, you went to Providence Public School, you know Dominicans, you know Cambodians, you know Puerto Ricans, Nigerians, Liberians, Ghanaians.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like these are your friends, and not just like on some like, oh hey, like, you know what I mean? Like it's like you go to their house, you eat their food. So by the time that you're like an adult, you have all of these reference points. And that's the biggest thing I realized, like leaving here, is not everybody has that. Like for us, like to be like, we were kids, I'm sure y'all can relate. Like, when I was in high school, it's like, yo, it's the quinceañera this weekend, it's the Sweet 16 this weekend, it's the team party. You know what I'm saying? That's like, you know what I mean? So for me, like I feel like, bro, we have a lot more just access to things than we give ourselves credit for.
100%, bro. One of my favorite phrases I'd be saying, I might have heard someone else say it, but I might fucking try to trademark if it's not already trademarked. But the phrase is like, people try to become the small fish in a big pond. So you go to New York, LA, there's millions of people trying to do the same shit you're doing. Literally. So you're there, it's like the chances of standing out are very thin, slim to none. But out here in a state that literally is the smallest state in the country, you can become easily and more, quicker, the biggest fish in a small pond.
But bro, I'll be honest with you, man. And whatever, there's people that they're gonna feel how they feel. But to me, we run this shit. Like if I'm keeping it above, like even like like I went on Twitter last week. I say, Providence got some of the littest parties in the country right now.
Yeah,
facts. Like it's not up for debate. It's obviously there's people that's like, oh, what do you mean? Is these play this place? I'm like, I have DJs that come here from all over the country. Mm-hmm. That they're like, they come in the crib. They might go to Day Trill, whatever, cool. But then it's like, I'm taking them to El Patio. I'm taking them different. And they're like, this shit is crazy. Like, y'all have all this, like, within 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Damn near, sometimes 3 minutes of shit, like, depending on the area.
So for me, and then, like, all right, cool. We talking about the party shit. But then when you want to talk about style, fashion, all that, it's like, it's a lot of people that's biting off of what's going on in Rhode Island and New England right now. Mm-hmm. But they from these bigger cities. So people think that they automatically have the wave because it's, this person's from New York, this person's from LA. Mm-hmm. But it's a lot of Rhode Island people out there. There's a lot of Rhode Island fingerprints out there, and there's a lot of people that's taken from us. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
That some people, they don't even realize. Like it's a lot of people that in these other places that was not doing the things they doing till they met some of my niggas.
100%.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But I think for people that's maybe like again, like I'm a little bit older than you. So for somebody who's maybe like in your age group, you might look at it as like, it's always been like this. So you you don't even know what it comes from. You know what I'm saying? But like, yo, like when you see, you know, like Lily Rain said this shit and at her listening session a few weeks ago, she said, yo, man, everybody dressing like Drew Barr. And that's a fact.
Yeah,
like,
shout out to Drew. Yep.
It's like, yo, so when you know what I mean? When you you know what I mean? Like when you put them things in, when you really put them things in perspective, it's kind of crazy.
No, it's very true, man. That's why I definitely love having this podcast, because I'm able to highlight a lot of people that are, you know, from here, but at the same time, you know, their stories and the things that they've done. It's like, holy shit, wait, they were connected to this, and it's like, I know it, but then a lot of people don't know it, so it needs to be highlighted. And at the same time, I understand a lot of people, especially as a creative, they're shy on camera, they don't want to talk about it. Drew's a prime example of that, you know, but everything he's established with Bodega, the brand, the sneaker culture, the whole aesthetic of the color templates and like the earthly colors and stuff, he definitely is a wave and trendsetter, and is still growing to this day. Like that shit is almost like a lifeless type of trend that I feel like will never type of die off, and a lot of brands will bite off of, but they might think, oh, they're just biting off a brand, but then there's like a brainchild behind this shit, and he's from Providence, Rhode Island, it's Drew. You know, and then I interviewed recently not Nasty. I'm over here, Nasty. Zay, you know, one of the most, if not the most popular, like stylists right now in the game, and he's from out of here. You know, Joe Perez did a lot of shit with Kanye that whole era. He's from Providence, Rhode Island. So it's like people don't realize it, but it needs to be spoken.
It's because that's why I said what you're doing is very, very important, man. Because one, it's not many people. Like, yeah, we've had Rude Boy, we've had Sorry for the Blog, right? And they held us down in the other eras, right? Yeah. But right now it's like, yo, we need that. Like what you doing is like, yo, even me is like, go, you know, like, bro, I keep to myself. I don't really talk that shit. Like I'm not really like on Twitter or on social media. Like, oh, we doing it, like to me it don't matter. But I realize like right now in the position that I'm in is like, yo, I gotta speak up for some of these people, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
Because I see what's going on, you know what I'm saying? Like
100%.
with like you talking about these designers, you talking about these artists, like I'm like, yo, niggas is not rapping better than Hill Holla. Mm-hmm. Niggas is not making better music than Lily Rain. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, and then when you pull the layer, you really pull the layers back and you see the people that's orchestrating a lot of this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like when you see like, okay, you pay attention to who's in the room. That's why I said like how my niggas got a lot of this stuff moving. When you really look at, like, you take a step back and you see who's in the room and you see Cam Bell. Like, why is Cam with every artist that's popping in Rhode Island? But you really ain't heard a song from Cam in 2 or 3 years. Yeah. So you got to pay attention to who's in the room. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of people behind the room, you know, might be in a part of the photos, behind the scenes, you know, making shit shake, and, you know, they have their finger on the pulse. And, you know, I feel like that's another thing is like those that know, and at the same time, it's okay for now, but definitely needs to be highlighted more. And at the same time, even without the highlighting per se, it's going to blossom to a point where, you know, a couple years, people are not going to be able to deny it. It's just going to be a given thing.
But you know what it is, though? I feel like as Rhode Islanders, we got to take that shit. Like right now, it's like, you know, we play, like, I feel like we have this thing about ourselves. We're very hard on ourselves. Like Rhode Islanders, like, they'll crack all the jokes on you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But they're not going to let nobody else talk shit about you, right? Like, that's 100%. That's generally like the, you know what I mean? So nigga might talk shit about your podcast. Like, oh, man, blah, blah, he's this, he's that. But if somebody else comes, it's like, nah, you can't do that. Mm-hmm. But I think it needs to get to the point where it's like, nah, yo, we need to uplift all our, you know, we need to talk that shit for our people. We need to be like, nah, yo, you know what? Yeah, like when I said that shit about the best parties in the country, it's like, yeah, like, nah, niggas need to stamp that. We need to believe, because if we don't believe that shit, then it's never gonna happen. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
people gotta manifest that shit, put the energy out there. You know?
And this is where all this shit, like, so like, yo, bro, like when you see like David Duke, you know what I'm saying? Like, who was here a few weeks ago, like, and he's in the league and he's doing what he's doing. It's like, yo, man, yo, we had Ricky Litos, we had Rakim Sanders, you know what I'm saying? We had Jeff Xavier, we had all these guys that's going crazy, that went crazy to get to the point where we at now. But it's like now, like I see like with somebody like a David Duke, it's like, nah, like, yo, bro, let's talk that shit. Like, yo, he's in the fucking league, man. Yeah. He's in the league. He's about to go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it's like when you seeing these different events, you seeing these things, it's like, yo, like even me on some DJ shit, I'm like, yo, bro, like I was playing, like I don't think people really understand this shit. It was like I played the biggest black party in the country at the time, Duce Palooza. I was a resident DJ for that party.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So it's like when you talking about like the parties that every black DJ want to play in the country, like I DJ'd that. I went across the country with them niggas.
Yeah, at the height of it, that whole thing. For those who don't know, who owns Duce Palooza? If I do say so myself, Jay-Z.
Partner. Shout to Cam, shout to Benner. But like, so that's what I'm saying. Is like all this shit that you know, it's like, bro, this the time, like 2-3 years ago, I wouldn't even be talking like this. I'd be like, yo, just check the scoreboard. But I think it's time to be vocal about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's time to be vocal, because if we don't talk about it, bro, nobody's gonna talk about this shit.
No, that's how it is, man. Like I be like, sometimes, like I've gotten used to it now, but like if I talk about, like, for example, small shit like Day Trill and shit, and then people don't know who's behind, I'll be like, how do you not? But it's like, oh, not everyone's me. You can't expect everyone to be you. But at the same time, it's like, that's why, okay, how can I make it known that this is happening? Like, I know this, but how can I, share this information? And it's like, I got the platform. It's like, oh, do little content pieces, a podcast, have them on, talk about it, because that is needed, and big that facts. Shit is like strong. And then people, shout out to everyone who's done podcasts out here, out the city. I understand, it's always been a thing, but then the visual content, like you got to move with the culture. Right now is about visual content.
And to even outside, because that's the bare minimum. What you talking about right now is the bare minimum, yeah. Right? But what people don't realize, what y'all got going on, and obviously we can move on from this, but it's like, it's also a taste level thing too. Like, yo, you set a stand, like it's like not everybody get to sit here. You know what I'm saying? Like the same way, it's not everybody get the DJ in crib. Not everybody, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody get the DJ at Day Trill.
Trust me, bro. You probably been through it too, but
you know what I mean?
I say no to everyone. My fucking cousins, I got cousins that aren't really my cousins. They're my cousins' cousins, and they're like, questioning if I love them. It's like, bro, please shut up.
But
what are you talking about?
But I say that to say is, you set the standard, so this actually means something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like no bullshit. Like,
anyone
like yo, bro, like you think niggas give a fuck about winning a motif award? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit don't mean nothing. No. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So this means something. You know what I mean? But it's because you guys have made it mean something. Like not just anybody could just be, oh, yo, I got this coming out, let me pull up. It's like, nah, you hand picking people.
100%. No, I appreciate that. It's very true. People literally offer money.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm also looking at it as like, why? And it's like, one day I'm gonna do it, not with someone offers money, but like whoever's like the thirstiest, I'm gonna put you on camera to see why you want to be on camera so bad, because 9 times out of 10, they're not even like talking shit, or even like they don't have nothing to back it up with, or it's like they're dead air. It's like, so what is this whole, like, you just want the clout of it.
See, you use the word clout, I say visibility. Visibility is everything. You got like, so people want to do shit, it don't even have to make sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, yo, people are looking at you, it's visible, so I want to be where you're at. And now when the next visible thing happens, I move on to that. Like, that's been the shit since the beginning of time, dog. Like, this is like, I feel like a lot of people attribute it to social media, but it's been going on forever, ever.
No, 100%, man. And it's like, perception is everything. A lot of people don't do research, and it's like I said earlier, I research everything. Like, if it could be a pair of socks, like I research whatever the things happening behind the scenes, entails how that went from point A to B and how it is now. People look at it and it's like, oh, they see podcasts, they see the quality, everything's nice, and they ultimately like, damn, money. Like, they put money a lot of times is like a main thing. Like, these guys must be rich. Like, oh my God, this podcast. Like, I remember someone locally that was like, that you probably know too, like mutually, he was like joking, like during the first early podcast, I think I went to like New York, some shit. I think it was in New York, some shit. And he was like, oh, that's that podcast money. And I told him straight up, I was like, bro, what money? Like, what are you talking about? Podcast money? Like, this is something that we do out the passion of the love that, we just want to do. And it's like, I give credit to them to even being here, wanting to be here. Like, there's no salary with this, not yet. That's the goal.
I like that you said not yet too, because that's another thing. like if you're familiar with Earn Your Leisure, one of the guys from Earn Your Leisure.
Shout out to Earn Your Leisure.
He always says, we don't apologize for making money. So even if this was making money, it's like, yo, this shit is lit. Yeah. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And we're gonna hold it to the highest standard.
100%. And it's like, it also starts like similar to how you were saying earlier, like organically, like things like the best things start organically. So it's like, if I was doing this just straight for the money, then it's like, I'm going to lose a lot of the actual pure interest, because it's like, you're going to try to like aim for certain things on purpose. And it's like, you're going to lose your taste level with shit, you know, like, and shit, but that the biggest shit so far, low key, might have been like that whole street interview thing that I did. And that was off the cuff. And that literally became like, if not the most like noticeable thing I've done now, creative wise, one of them damn near. But I think it damn near is, because a lot of people see me.
Wow, son.
Yo, and it's like, that's all natural. Like asking people, what is this in your own words? What is PVD? What is gay pride? In your own words. I'm not even putting words in their mouth. I'm just giving people a platform to be themselves. They just happen to be from Providence, Rhode Island. Now it's like, oh shit, that's over there. That's happening over there. I didn't know. Oh my God, they have good energy. It's like, bro, because you don't fucking know.
But that's what we need. Like, think about before Instagram, right? Me, Hill, like that's like my brother, my man.
Shout out to Hill Holla.
Like, we taking trips to New York. They're like, yo, we ain't even know niggas in Rhode Island was getting fresh. But I'm like, yo, bro, we getting fresher than you. Like if we keeping it, like, it's niggas saying this. That's like, yo, bro, we wouldn't even want to dress like you. What do you like? You think because you're from somewhere that automatically makes you? But people really think that. So that's why I'm saying, going back to the point, is like, Rhode Island, we gotta talk our shit, because for me, yo, bro, I'm blessed enough to have been around a lot of different stuff and seen a lot of different things all around this country and even outside of this country. And I'm like, yo, like, I don't know, it's just crazy. Like, to me, it's like, bro, some of the best stuff that I've experienced is here. And I think it's funny, because when you're from here, it's hard to believe that. But then when you talk to people that's not from here, who have had major influence on culture as a whole, right? Mm-hmm. Like, this is one dude in particular. I'm not gonna say his name out of respect, but like he's made a lot of plays happen in the music industry, like make fucking certain artists connect with like certain rappers connect with certain digital artists and shit, like, you know what I mean, like culture shifting stuff, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And yeah, you know, having conversation with him, first time he's like, yo, man, like, I love Providence, like, that city, you know what I mean? That's the interaction I have with people that's not from here all the time. So to me, like, when I talk to people from here who are like, oh, this shit's whack, I'm like, yo, like, but what's your reference? Like, where have you been to say that? Like,
100%, bro. And that's what gives me just more pride, and like, not necessarily wanting to really leave. Like, if it ever happens in the future, it happens. But I always see this as always like being my home base. You know, we've had opportunities, literally, I think I've told you, we've spoken about it in the past, where like literally first year, it's like 2 years, however, early into the YouTube game, literally sitting down at a table in Los Angeles with like a random fan investor. If I give you $1 million right now, what would you do with it? We don't know. And at the same time, looking back, it's like, God bless us saying that, because it's like, that now is not even a lot of money. Like, when you look at it to like, when you want to like place a overall value and like have investors involved,
big facts,
that's not even a lot of money, bro. Like, that's something that could be gone like in a couple months if you do it differently or do it wrong easily. So it's like, and it also would have probably obviously entailed moving to LA. And, you know, props to everyone doing their thing, whatever. I know a lot of people have done that, excited, even from here. But I really don't see the need to. And at the same time, it helps the state, where it's like the branding of this. Like, I'll be around Trippie Redd's people and them and established artists and be like, oh, the Rhode Island boys, right? The Rhode Island boys. Like, they know that because we rep it and everything that we do pridefully, without any sense of like, oh, Massachusetts, oh, New England. Like, I do New England a lot now because of the Patriots and everything, obviously. But I still be like Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island, you know, repping it hard. But a lot of people lie. They'll be like, oh, New York. Nigga, you ain't from New York. You from fucking Cranston, bro. Like, stop lying. Or like, what are you talking about? You're not from New York. But it's like, that's how a lot of people are.
I was born in.
Yeah, I was like born in. It's like, stop capping. But I think it's gonna change.
I think we're the first generations to be proud to be from here, dog.
100%.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it was known as like a hater nation. Like everyone's hating on each other for years. Like growing up, that's all I always would hear. I necessarily didn't see it because I was young. I was like, oh, but I guess it was like a thing.
To me, that's why I tell niggas, like, out the gate, man, I've been embraced. So I can't, you know what I mean? Like, to me, I feel like, see, the people that hate, they louder than the people who got love. But that don't,
100%.
Like, how could I say that this is a hater place? And it's like, bro, I'm selling more tickets to a festival with no artists than artists who come to the city. Like, yo, think about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, yo, the people be hating. I'm like, yo, like Diamond texted me this shit the other day. He was like, yo, bro, like, Kendrick Lamar came here when he first came out, and
that line was wrapped around the corner,
and it was still less tickets than Day Trill or a Yellow Cup, or, you know what I'm saying? Bro, think about that shit.
That's crazy.
Think about that shit.
And the prices back then obviously had to be more affordable than now. Not just for a Kendrick show, but like a show at the location was probably loopholes at the time.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's crazy. It's true. You have to use that as reference points and, like, you know, just state that shit and let people know, like, that shit is really happening, you know. But like I said, you know, we could talk for hours, especially about the state, you know. But shout out to another brother from the state real quick. Cudi, he told me that there's a truck driver. He listens to our podcast every day, damn near, or whenever it drops, like during the truck drives, because Cudi moved to Atlanta.
Shout out to Cudi, man.
You know, one of the people that I definitely, he moved officially. But even him, I had the conversation with him where that concept of like leaving the state, but his whole thing is like, yo, I'm trying to still put the city. That's the goal, is to make the state hot, and it's like he's taking trips back and forth. He's not making it like on some like fuck Rhode Island shit. That's not his goal. And it's like, okay, you know, we need that as well. We need like olive branches. We need people established, almost like antennas, satellites in different states to like broadcast the attention over here or from here to over there. So that's a necessary thing, you know. So shout out to him. And yeah, let's talk about some real quick. I'll run by a couple Rhode Island topics, and then we can get into more cultural topics with Nasty, because I definitely want to discuss some things happening right now in the culture with one of the men that I definitely respect his opinion most on the culture. He doesn't share much, so it's gonna be interesting today. Might get controversial. We'll bleep it out if we need to. But shout out to the David Duke podcast that dropped last week.
Legendary.
Appreciate it. A lot of you know, attention with that. It's crazy. Like, it's not our most viewed episode necessarily, like when it comes to the episode in general, but it kind of is when I talk about like holistically all the clips and when I think about it more. But aside from that, it's been the one I've gotten the most like props by, even like established like articles and stuff. So shout out to David Duke for even stopping by. I really, you know, I told him, you know, I appreciate it, and he was dying to talk to me. It's like, yo, bro, I'm dying to talk to you. So it's full circle moment. Shout out to him. Also, a couple things over the weekend out here, not in Rhode Island, but nearby. There was some interesting concerts. The Weeknd came, and Chris Brown came to Massachusetts. I went to the Weeknd concert. Fire. I don't know if you've seen the Weeknd live.
I haven't, but that, 65,000 people, that's crazy.
Bro, at Gillette Stadium. I was sitting there like, there was a point where he was like, he said, I think he literally said that, like, I sold out of the Gillette Stadium, some shit, and I damn near teared up as if I knew him. I'm like, damn, I felt like proud, like a proud brother and shit, because like you grow up with these artists, like especially someone of him, like you guys remember when the Weeknd was like, bro, he didn't even show like his face. Like he was, you know, for lack of better terms, he was fatter. Like he was fatter, you know, he was fatter. He would like wear like mad layers, and like he would hide almost like Party Next Door. Party Next Door, the same thing.
Yeah, they were whole mysterious.
They had a mysterious vibe. They were heavier set, and they would wear mad layers, hide their faces.
I never noticed that.
Bro, I want to tweet that soon one day. I'm going to show like a before and after of literally Party Next Door and the Weeknd, and you'll see it. It's so crazy. But then it's like an artist that you hear that, or you've seen that, you saw his growth into now literally selling out where the Patriots play. To me, it just kind of hit home. I was like, damn, this is like crazy when you're there, mad people, and it's still making it entertaining with like the light show, Mike Dean with the engineering, the production.
Oh, Mike
top tier.
Dean was doing that?
He's doing a whole tour. He booked him for the whole tour. And I'm pretty sure he's probably like available because, you know, Kanye ain't doing shit this year no more. So he got Mike Dean on the whole tour. Mike Dean opens, then K Tronada, then it's the Weeknd. It was supposed to be Doja Cat in between, but I think something happened with her voice or something. But Mike Dean also engineers the entire Weeknd set. So during his songs, he'll like do like little remixes to it and stuff, and I'm like, this is amazing, especially during the throwbacks, bro. Like the way they played often and like these remixes that he did like back in the day, the weekend like classic songs,
like House of Balloons.
Oh my god, the way Mike Dean was cutting it up, I'm like, this is insane. I was like looking around, I'm like, do these kids know what Mike Dean is doing right now? Like this is insane. Like what the fuck? And then the lights were like perfect. It was crazy. Like I never been to a show of that level. So shout out to The Weeknd. Chris Brown I didn't see. I was occupied. I want to see him eventually though. Shout out to Chris Brown, nearby. And
a Little Baby too, right?
Yeah, Little Baby opened up. It's a Little Baby and Chris Brown tour. That's an interesting tour. I'm not gonna talk about it. It's interesting. But shout out to Chris Brown, the legend. Real quick, let's talk about the sad news. Unfortunately, there's been another homicide in the city, Providence, Rhode Island. I was actually watching the video literally while doing laundry earlier. It was playing, I think, Turn to 10, Channel 10, and it's the 5th homicide in the city. I want to say Providence, Rhode Island of the year so far. I think less than last year at this point, but definitely, obviously, you want it to be 0, right? But 15-year-old has passed away. They had a candlelight vigil yesterday. They didn't have his name, but let me see. Okay, they updated it now. Gervonta Tilson, and police are saying that he might have been targeted. Nonetheless, he has passed away. 15 years old. Prayers to his family, his friends. I saw the vigil video, very sad. Because we've heard of obviously recent deaths and shit, but like, I don't know. I off the top of my head, I can't think of a actual like shooting where the casualty in Rhode Island was of that young of an age, like literally below an adult, like an actual child, like a teenager. It's obviously it's happened, I'm pretty sure, but it's probably been a while. Like I don't know.
Like if like even back in the day, like Arrow, like what Camp Arrow's named after.
Yeah, Camp Arrow was dedicated to him. Like
it's kind of shit. That shit is wicked though, man.
It's insane, man. It's like. Yeah, it's very sad. So rest in peace to him. My condolences to that family. There was a 40-year-old man that drowned in Lincoln Woods. Yeah, it's a unsafe summer if you're being unsafe, but definitely try to stay safe. That's the main goal. I feel like in summertime there's always like a height in deaths, no matter what. Like no matter what city it is, it's really crazy. Like you see it all the time, obviously with New York and stuff. But for example, like Chicago, you compare it to Providence, obviously. 5 homicides is like they probably like laugh at it like, huh, like what the fuck, that's nothing, but still that's something out here, bro. Like with the population and shit out here,
it's the type of impact too that you know what I mean. Like you said, like you don't want nobody to die. Like this shit is getting out of hand.
100%. And also shout out to the Providence High School, Juanita Sanchez. I'm gonna be speaking there tomorrow. I got invited. Shout out to Travis Escobar. He invited me there tomorrow, so that's gonna be interesting. Appreciate it. Yeah,
I went to summer school over there.
Oh yeah. I think Marlon earlier said something about it.
They licked me. Fuck Juanita Sanchez. They licked me.
Oh, man.
I was supposed to do my first driver's ed shit there. Showed up. Nobody there. Walked the whole place. Nobody knew shit about nothing. Shit was non-refundable. Motherfuckers licked me out of like $90.
God bless.
That's a lot in high school,
bro. What? Come on, bro. Like what?
That's a lot.
15-year-old me, $90, bro. Come on. I was working I was in high school working almost 30 hours and y'all motherfuckers licked me. Fuck you, Juanita Sanchez.
Listen, I'm going to be there tomorrow.
I had some good memories at that school.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get you refurbished tomorrow. I'm going to try to get you that refund back.
Half of it. Fuck.
I'm going to tell them you take crypto, whatever payment you take, whatever they're giving.
That's funny.
But let's get into some topics. Let's start with the big kahuna, the biggest topic of the week, the biggest talk of the weekend in culture, especially music culture, black culture. Kid Cudi. Now, for those who don't know, I made a post, and my boy Dave is so stupid, like a commenter, not David, but Dave, the white Dave, the juices loose.
He doesn't count.
Man.
Oh my God. You know him?
Man.
Crazy, man. That guy's such a troll, man.
Let's not get into Dave, bro.
Dave's a funny guy, man.
Bro, like, Dave is always Dave. He's always going to be like that.
Legendary reseller, though.
Oh, no, bro.
Dunk
Dave?
I'm not going to discredit
No,
him.
Dunk Dave, legendary.
But
I made the post.
Shout to Nick, too. I used to get a lot of sneakers from them guys.
Oh, man. Listen, but I made that post. I was like, Kid Cudi. Legend. In my eyes, he's a legend. Musically, what would you say in your eyes? Like musically, would you consider him a musical legend? I gauge it off of impact.
So
influence.
Well, let me hear what he said first, and I'll tell you
what he said. Like to debate it.
Yeah.
He didn't even say much. What he was just like mid. Like he was just trolling on purpose. Like he was mid. He's like, oh, he's like, legend is a bit much, Vic. Like a legend, right? But it's like he's from an older generation, so I guess like maybe. But it's like I thought he would like appreciate, like understand, like why I would consider him a legend.
Let me ask you this, right? And I think this is maybe, is there a difference between like a legend, an icon / influencer? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I think I could see, you know, somebody like a Dunk Dave who's older than both of us, right?
Yeah.
Is, you know, their reference point for legend is like Biggie, Tupac, Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So I could see why I'd be like, like Kid Cudi, legend, maybe not so much. But also Kid Cudi didn't influence his generation. But but our, you know, my generation all the way down to y'all, like, yo, Kid Cudi, I remember like when Man on the Moon came out and the mixtape he did with Plain Pat, like, bro, that shit, when I was at URI, like my freshman year, that was like, you know, around So Far Gone, Man on the Moon, then 808s and all that shit. Like, bro, that was like that Maui Wowie. Like, they put that shit on streaming last week, and I was like, yo, this brought me to a time. So I could see how on like both ends, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody doesn't look at Kid Cudi as a legend, but I would say for the blog era, legend for sure.
Man,
sure.
Kid Cudi, bro. Kid Cudi. Because I had to put it and referencing and start off with that because of the concept of what happened, right? For those who don't know.
Yeah, to be disrespected.
Yeah, exactly. Because like disrespect is like, some people might deserve it per se, depending on the situation, right? So it's like some people are like, oh, it was called for. But Kid Cudi walked off stage after being hit by fans at Rolling Loud over the weekend. He was part of day one, right? He had a set time of 11 p.m. in Miami, Rolling Loud, right? So he was the headliner. But for those who don't know, a week prior, damn near, I think like a day plus a week prior, so over a week prior, they announced and clarified the update that Kanye West was removed from the headlining. Now it's going to be Kid Cudi. They were substituting with Kid Cudi.
Which I feel like is not a bad substitution.
It's not a bad, you know? It's like if you guys fucking paid, then it's like, you're going to have to deal with that. And at the same time, when you look at the lineup, it's like right before Kanye was going to be, and was still, Cardi, Don Toliver, 2 Chainz. And on a different stage, we had Little Durk, you know. But I guess I get it. Kanye West is Kanye West.
Let's keep it a buck, though. Did you really think that Kanye West was going to do this? You know what I'm saying?
Do the Rolling Loud?
Yeah, come on.
Like, I think so.
I think so because he did it. So. But he didn't. I don't think he headlined. He did it with what was it with Future?
He came
well, now, but like before, he came out with Future and he did a freestyle. Remember?
But yeah, you know why I think Kanye would do it, man? Because going back to the word of visibility. Obviously, Kanye has in hip hop or in culture some of the most visibility, being around like the Kardashians and even on his own namesake.
His middle name is Visibility.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like Kanye understands where he needs to be and where he needs to impact.
Oh yeah.
And I would say right now, for a certain age demographic, Rolling Loud is that.
It's all that matters.
Yeah, no, I get it.
It's all that matters.
I get it. But with everything that's happening right now, and like him wanting to be off the earth type of shit, and Travis Scott not being able to go no more because he said he was gonna bring him out and shit like that, I didn't really expect him to. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
So like,
yeah, but it's interesting because I know him and Tariq have built a close relationship now. They're pretty close. Tariq Sheriff, one of the 2 major heads behind Rolling Loud, the entire company. Him and Kanye have established a close relationship. Nice. So I knew like it was definitely bound to happen. But then, like Marlon said, Kanye recently has been in that type of like, I want to leave. He said it. What did he say the other? He literally verbatim said some shit like,
when he spoke about the Diddy shit
at the Diddy, like when he was honoring Diddy, I think at the BET Awards.
Like, yo, like I was trying to dead man.
He wants to be like, he wants to be like legally dead for the year or something like that, to that nature, right? So it's like, yo, interesting, like, oh wow. But so it's like, are we gonna see him at Rolling Loud then? Because it would kind of like be contrary to what he's stating. So then it comes up the week prior. Oh, he canceled it. So now he's gonna be on some dead man shit, disappear, right? Boom. So Cudi's there, and now he walks off stage because there's video. Which actually, let me pull it up. Actually, I have the link. Let me pull up. Or should I not? No, I don't want to pull it up. I'm not going to pull up. You guys have seen it. We don't got to see it. You've seen it. There's videos everywhere.
Super disrespectful.
A
lot of people saw the first video, which is the main video that got a lot of views, which was Cudi just like, yo, if you guys keep fucking with me, I'm not playing. I'm going to fucking walk off stage, keep throwing one more tank. Like, literally, And then a lot of people were like on the fence, like, damn, but you kind of like you said it, like you called it out. But then more footage came out because obviously there's thousands of people there, so you're gonna get more footage. Then it was revealed that literally he got hit in the fucking face, bro. He got hit in the face. It wasn't just like they're throwing shit on stage, which is already disrespectful because they've booed a similar situation. Drake at the Tyler Creator Camp Flog and all. Drake handled it, to the best of his ability, very professional. He didn't pull a Kid Cudi, but at the same time, he wasn't getting shit thrown at him.
He got hit.
He wasn't getting shit thrown at him. So Cudi, it was getting shit thrown at, and then he got hit in the fucking face, right? Which I zoomed it in, and it looked to be like a bag of something. At first, I thought it was a water bottle. It turns out to be like a bag. Might have been like a bag of weed. Some shit that could have literally cut him. I'm like, it was like a plastic, like a tight bag, not like a Ziploc.
There has to have been weight or something for you to make it.
Yeah, because the aim and shit, and people were.
That's why they don't give you like water bottles and shit with caps at concerts.
Yeah.
There has to be weight on it, in it to make it there. You know what I'm saying?
I was joking with I always mispronounce his name. Yeah, the photographer, my boy. I always talk to him all the time, but Beilendorf. So that's how I pronounce it. I want to get him eventually on the podcast. Shout out to the legend Beilendorf. He was joking about with me too, like, damn, that's crazy. But he was like, damn, but they got some fucking accurate aim because they hit that shit from afar, like they're accurately right in the face. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy. That shit really happens. Like, people throw shit on stage, but to get hit literally in the fucking nose, like right on the face, it's like Cudi had enough. And then that's what made me feel more for him because of the fact that we surfaced it earlier with, in my eyes, he's a legend. He's done a lot of legendary things. He's someone that doesn't necessarily deserve this, whether you think anyone deserves this type of shit at all.
Even if he wasn't a legend, though, it's like, yo, they shouldn't be doing that shit in the first place, dog. Like yo, disrespect is disrespect. Like, whether you the janitor or you know what I mean? You the person, the headline is selling remote. Like, that shit is crazy.
Exactly, because that's assault. No, that's assault. Yeah. Like, and honestly, he didn't antagonize it. It's not like Cudi was like, throw something at me. Like, he got hit with that, and then he was like, if you do it one more time, I'm walking out.
Yeah, regardless, you could put anyone in that position, and they're gonna do the exact same thing.
That's what I would think so.
To me, I just don't understand like why people think that shit is acceptable. Like I feel like we've gotten to the point where it's like shit is so warped. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for this to even be like a conversation being like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, people to be mad that he walked off or whatever. It's like, yo, bro, like, yeah, I understand. It's like same thing with like NBA games. Like, you pay money to be here, but yo, that don't mean you run the show. And you know what I mean? Like, it's like, yo, like, there's rules and parameters for you to be inside of this space, man.
100%. And my thing, I think to answer that, I think it might be, obviously, no one knows a clear definition, but I think one of the things that can be is that Kanye cult following. Kanye, especially, I've seen it online heavily since, I would say probably since Donda. But it's kind of started a little bit before that with Ye. But with Donda, really, especially that whole rollout, like the stands, like this new age of like the young Kanye fans be on some like literally dick riding, like dick riding, like online. You see it, it's so crazy. Like they literally wanted to like kill Drake during that whole situation. Like, bro, you see it, and I would see, especially like when we do Kanye reactions, you see in the comments. Like, I'll say one thing about Kanye, like I'll judge like a interlude. I'll be like, oh, you don't understand it, and it's like, oh, you'll get that, but then not to the repetitive magnitude that we've been getting it recently with the Kanye type of content that we do, and it's like, damn, what the fuck is happening? It's at the same time, I feel like he might obviously know that. That's why he literally went to like, I don't know if you guys saw it. He went to a whole moment where he was like following a bunch of accounts that had like the black avatar. If you made your avatar black, with like just a color black with nothing on it, and like repped him and helped him promote the album, like the cover of the album Donda, he was like following people back, and he would like DM a bunch of fans and shit. So he's kind of feeding into that, right? But obviously he's not telling people, I would hope so. Yo, Cudi is doing my set, right? I didn't want to pop up. Yo, throw shit at him. I would hope so, because there's so many theories online. People are like, did Kanye set Kid Cudi up? Did Rolling Loud sabotage this type of situation? Now, I will say that obviously there is a beef with Kanye West and Kid Cudi that has been public, and they haven't nourished it. They went through like a nourishing moment, I think, like top of last year, where they kind of like had a similar beef, but now it's gotten very deeper, whereas like Cudi's publicly tweeted multiple times, like, yeah, it's like no patching this up, etc. And like he's getting like harassed by paparazzi asking him about it, and he's kind of like getting pissed off about it now more than ever. And now it's like you substitute Kanye with Cudi, but at the same time, business is business. Cudi knows, and Cudi knows like he agreed to it. All parties were mutually agreeing to this, right? He has major records. I think he's a big enough artist to headline a fucking festival. It's Kid Cudi. He
has a crazy following.
Following, crazy catalog is Kid Cudi. Like he's the only. I think the only person to this day that I went to go see a concert by myself was Kid Cudi, because I was like, I gotta go. I'm going by myself. Went to Boston. I had to go see him. Right. He's the only artist I've done that so far with. That's Kid Cudi. But it's like when you break it down, Kanye West still was at Rolling Loud. The set time for Lil Durk, for those who don't know, a reference on the Go Puff stage. I should have never said the name because I'm free promo for Go Puff. But fuck them now. At 11:10, Lil Durk right at the Go Puff stage, but at the other main stage, Ciroc stage, Kid Cudi at 11. So Lil Durk was 10 minutes after, and it's not like Kid Cudi was gonna perform for 10 minutes.
Right.
It was just, I guess, to break it up for people, pick and choose, whatever. There's a lot of fucking, you know how if you've been to festivals, you know how it goes, right? Yeah. But Lil Durk obviously has a friendship with Kanye West, Chicago connection, all that, right? I'm going Kanye crazy. Like they had like the collabs, everything. All people know. Recently, who did it? Someone brought Kanye West out of the Game in LA, and the Game was like, yo, I had to bring him out to perform. I think Easy. He was like, yo, and then Kanye didn't even perform it. Like he was just kind of like vibing with it. He was like, I told him just come out. He didn't have to perform. This is my guy. He's my best friend. Blah blah blah. You know. And he did it at the Diddy thing where he was like, yo, I want to be declared dead. But at the same time, if Diddy needs me, I got to show up. He's like, I got to fucking be realistic. Like, I want to be how I am, but I need to be realistic too. Yeah. So he did that with the Game. And now I guess the recent example is doing it with Lil Durk, right? Because no one expected that. But he came out and performed on the Lil Durk set. But he didn't even do any song with Lil Durk or a Lil Durk song. He did the song that he has with Kid Cudi, The Father Stretching My Hands. Oh. So this gets deeper, right? And he does the Kid Cudi parts, everything. Like, and I think that's the only song he did.
But y'all think it's like that calculated?
Listen, from the shit I've heard, there's a lot of things I haven't even spoken about, like on the podcast that I've heard, like during like the whole Drake and Kanye shit that I've learned, like through actual like shit behind the scenes.
Through the sources.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like it's to that level, and it's unfortunate because I don't want it to be true, but it's like it can be. It's not that far-fetched, right? Kanye West is very powerful.
Kanye's being petty, though. He's been hanging out with Drake too much.
It's very, and the timing of it, this guy, and the timing of it is like, what a coincidence. These are a lot of coincidences that are adding up, right? And then Kanye still with that whole disappearing shit, because he did pop up, but you guys saw it. There was the photos, like he was wearing black paint. Like he was like, his whole, I thought it was just his face. He painted his whole arms and everything in black paint.
People are saying it's not even Kanye.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, it's not him," but it was him.
He low-key don't even look like. He really doesn't look like Kanye.
Sometimes I be wondering.
He looks slim as fuck.
Is this? You know what I mean? Is it calculated? Is it not? Are we looking like too deep? You know what I'm saying? Like,
because as of now, I'll check right now live. As of now, Kid Cudi did tweet. But it was a tweet that I have his notifications on today because I was like, yo, he might say some shit, right?
Might say some wild shit.
You know, you want to keep up to date and shit, keep people informed. But all he tweeted today was an ad. And it said #ad this week. Call me Counselor Cudi because I'm taking over the camp. McDonald's. He's announcing a merch drop with McDonald's and everything. And it was like a private tweet type of thing. So it was like #ad. So people like, oh, that could have been automated. That could have been his manager. He's not. That might have not even been him that did that, right? Mm-hmm. But obviously people are still waiting for his response to kind of add some clarity to this. We're not going to get clarity from fucking Kanye West, right? That's not going to happen, right? No. At this point, unless he does randomly another interview randomly with Drink Champs again or something, or who knows, right? I doubt it, though, at this point. But Cudi's the only one that can provide any context for this. Rolling Loud has already come out and not apologize because they technically, if they apologize, then they're taking ownership. So they didn't want to apologize. They weren't, because they don't technically have to. Like, no.
But I think with Rolling Loud and just any event, man, is they need to fucking set the precedent where it's like, yo, this is just not acceptable. It don't matter if it's Kid Cudi, if it's a nigga you never heard of. Yo, this is just not acceptable. Like,
so like you mean like on a, like, so provide some sort of maybe consequence to the fans that
like,
did this?
Like, it's like, yo, like, that's just not acceptable. Like, in what world, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, yo, like, bro, like.
So weird.
You know what I mean? Like, that shit is not acceptable nowhere. Like, even like you see it with the NBA games where they're like,
oh man,
harassing them. It's like, yo, like, you could be a fan, you could do all this, but there's also a limit. You know what I mean? Like, yo, bro, this is a concert, my guy. Like, You know what I mean? You had a like, yo, you paid money to be here, and other people paid. You know, them tickets. It's not like them tickets is like, even if there was $20, even if there was free, like, yo, them tickets is expensive. So you're here at this festival, you throwing shit at this person that you paid money to come see.
And why not just turn around and fucking leave?
Yo,
like,
why? Go to the other stages.
Because that's the last performance on that stage. Like, go home, buddy. Or it's Cudi, so let me still trash him. Or were you hoping that maybe Kanye would come out? Even if Kanye might have done like a surprise and like who knows, they would have like they made a new they rekindled their friendship. You would have never gotten that pop up because you were throwing shit already. Mm-hmm. So you're already establishing a precedence where it's like not welcomed. That's the energy. Yeah. So it's like, fuck you guys. Like, what the fuck is this?
It's just stupid,
bro. And it's like, man, I definitely say like we saw with the NBA, but we see it. I feel like. After COVID, like post-COVID, like people are like frustrated and now they're out and now they're like doing these type of antics and like running on stage, tackling Dave Chappelle and like doing all this type of shit, and I'm like, I don't know, like I personally would never, but it's like people are gonna be people
for them seconds, the minutes of clout, bro.
That and I think some of these people they think like, oh, it's like I'm really not gonna get beat up. Like it's like, yo, Dave Chappelle put their hands on that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Dave Chappelle and them went crazy on that,
bro,
dude, man.
100%. And it's like, you get what you deserve.
Honestly.
You get what you deserve. And it's like that guy ended up this like a whole backstory with that's like, oh, okay, so there was a dumb reason, but you had a reason, right? So these people might have motives. That guy who hit Cudi might be his number one hater. Or it might be his number one fan.
I'll tell you this.
You never know.
I'll tell you this, though. Kanye West, just because you did that, I highly doubt Kanye's going to be like, you know what, bro? Come over here. Let's have dinner shit. I respect you for doing that type shit. You know what I'm saying? He's not even going to fucking talk to you. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't even know if the things are correlated. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like just off the basis of like respect. You know what I'm saying? Like if, like to me, it's like if respect is the baseline, it's like, I don't care who he beefing with, what they going through. It's Facts. Like, it don't even need to be all that.
No, 100%.
I would hope 100%. Not, bro. Because listen, if Kanye West had anything to do with Kid Cudi being hit or bullied in general, that's not any sort of cool points in my book. Like, that would be like bottom tier dumb shit. Because God forbid Cudi gets really injured, a head injury. Like, God forbid someone throws something heavier. Like, yeah, people probably get checked at the door at Rolling Loud, but once you're in there, you could buy anything. Someone could have literally like rock merch, and you could just buy the fucking rock merch and just throw the rocks on, like, you know.
And this shit, like, bro, we talking this shit is music though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, bro, it's just music,
like,
bro.
You know what I mean? Like for the most part, like, yeah, they beefing, but what are they even really beefing about? Like, you know, like,
bro, and it's like Kanye and fucking Cudi is like two peas in a pie. Like they've had that strong history of relationship. And just like any strong friendship, whatever, there might be some fallouts, whatever. But then you hope it doesn't get to that level where it's like assault and like inciting this type of energy. So yeah. I hope it's not real. I hope it's still all alleged. But someone else that was Rolling Loud, and from that umbrella of Kid Cudi, literally his favorite artist is Kid Cudi, and obviously the Kanye West umbrella was Travis Scott. Travis Scott again. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but this might have been literally his first like festival post everything. I know he's had performances and everything,
like DJ sets and
DJ sets at clubs, but this might be his first festival back post the Astroworld situation. And there's a moment, I think, right here, where you can see him visually like so excited towards the end of his actual pop up. He popped out during the Future set, I believe. I think they did that new song that they have with Southside, which is not even necessarily a hit. It was like kind of like a if you know you know, but it's like it's dope.
That shit is hard.
That shit slaps. That shit slaps. In the right environment, it slaps. You know. You know, so you saw him like with that emotion. Another person I feel like loves his fucking fans. Like, bro, this guy really rides and dies for his fans. And obviously, we saw what happened. Everyone knows what happened with the Astroworld situation. But I just want to say, for lack of better terms and putting everything aside, I'm just glad he's happy. He seems happy.
Facts, yeah.
You know, he's smiling again. You know, he's probably obviously made some social media posts, etc. But seeing him actually in his environment, that's the closest to the behavior that we saw him that took him down a notch, was the whole festival shit. He's back in that again to one degree of what can be in the future, because obviously he's not headlining, which obviously like Rolling Loud, Travis Scott headlining is like cookie and cream or fucking peanut butter and jelly. Like it's like match made in heaven, right? But he'll probably get back to that eventually.
We we love a good redemption story.
Yeah.
So it's like it's gonna
happen.
It's not if it's gonna happen. It's when it's gonna happen.
Yeah, and I think Tariq actually tweeted something along the lines where they tried to get Travis Scott, but the venue either banned him or didn't permit it. I don't know the case, but he popped out, so I guess they worked it. I don't know. Hopefully there's no like actual like legal ramifications now that they got to deal with. But
you know what the thing that's like weird about the whole Travis situation though, obviously tragedy, like you don't want any of that type of shit happening, but or I say in addition to that, it's like fucking, I mean Live Nation, who they partner with to do Astroworld, it's like they doing every major tour and every major concert in every major city in America, like. So it's like, to me, it's a strange double standard. It's like, like they still operating and doing business. Like shit. I mean, if we check, they probably the ones who did the Weekend tour. If we keep they're like the biggest producer of concerts in the country. So like, so to me it was like, I felt like where was the backlash for them?
Yeah, bro.
Versus, you know what I mean?
And even Travis probably trying to keep it on the hush. Like he doesn't want to publicly like talk about them or even like put them at fault. Because who knows legal ramifications. His lawyer probably advised him otherwise. But it's like he damn near, obviously he needs to, in my opinion. And at the same time, people should be like, we got a Travis Scott interview. Okay, whatever. I get that because it was his event, Astroworld. But where's the interview with like the CEO of Live Nation about this? Like where's the sit down interview? People don't even know who this person is.
Think about this shit, like in music. Like in music, right? How many people you hear talk about Lucien Grange? We never heard this nigga talk ever.
Never.
Like he literally controls a lot of the music that we know and love. Like we never heard him talk.
I feel like the only people definitely have rapped about him, but the only person that's like rapped about him like a lot and like publicly is like Drake. Like Drake mentions him and shit, and we know the relationship there. Drake signed another bag allegedly. People were saying 300, now they're saying that was like 650 or something. I'm like,
sheesh,
god damn. And it's like whatever he wants, but yeah, man. We're going to talk about it right now. Perfect pivot. Record labels are, look, however you look at it, it depends, right? Because I'm all for independence and shit. And it's obviously biased because we both have like established, independent situation, brands and shit. We haven't really fully partnered up with like a full on thing like for life or like a long-term contract yet or whatever. It might happen. Who knows? But then when it comes to like a record label, right now, the first artist to publicly talk about this on a platform was French Montana last week, I think during the Academics podcast, where he addressed the idea of record labels actually taking out insurance policies on these artists. So an insurance policy, obviously, when someone passes away, life insurance policy, when someone passes away, people get money, whether it's the partner, spouse, however you write it off to, and however you tie it up to.
That's how they say the majority of wealth is made.
To insurance or life insurance?
Insurance.
Life insurance. Wow.
Like how people get like inheritance and all that.
That shit. Is true. You hear that story all the time. They make movies about that shit all the time. Inheritance and like lineage money and like random money. Like you might have.
So you're saying? So French was saying they
French was like, and French Montana, obviously an established artist. He must be. Obviously, he's probably in bigger rooms than me, and like he's having these conversations with these people. But for some reason, he felt the need to like talk about this. Whereas like record labels are taking out life insurance policies on these artists, and he was against it. Like he didn't like it. He's like, yeah, obviously you gotta look at it as a business, so they might be preparing themselves because like anyone would and should, like we are gonna die at some point, so get life insurance. But he's saying like these record labels are, in his opinion, depending on these artists to die to make money after they die. Now, we spoke about this, and we speak about this all the time. For years, we've been talking about this when it comes to the Juice WRLDs, the XXXXX, the people who have posthumously released albums, right? Mm-hmm. We spoke about these labels making money after the demise. Now, this takes it to a deeper level where it's like life insurance? Like, oh, hold up. How does this work? Now, if it's like their family gets the money, whatever, these record labels, okay, but that's like in a perfect world. But if a record label's doing it, I doubt it's gonna be fully for the benefit of the artist.
You know what's wild though is that concept. Like that shit sound so crazy, but then you hear about like other major corporations doing that with like employees. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
Shit is wicked out here, B.
It's like exactly. So to me, it's like not too surprising.
Yeah,
it's like
shit don't surprise me.
It makes it sound more sketchy, to be honest. Like more believable that they're doing it, because it's like, why? Like why you really now putting like money on a person like their item, you know, instead of being a human being.
I guess like, that's the tough part with like business and these type of corporations is like, yo, they have no, like, you just a number on a line sheet. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, this artist, they generate this much money. You know what I mean? Like, so it is weird to, like when you hear that shit, you're like, yo, for real, they doing what? But I mean, to me, it don't surprise me at all. Like,
you're just another statistic. You know, you're just another statistic. No matter what, you know, whether you literally, you know, keep the lights on in the house. I think Drake said that like about Universal or something, like he Lucien knows who keeps the lights on in the house, some shit like that. Whether you're of that nature, that status or not, like they still can move some cards around that can make shit tough for you in certain rooms. And it's the way this fucking shit is. It's evil, bro. This business is evil. Music business is all types of business is evil, but music business as well.
You know what's interesting though? Like for me, like when people say like the business thing, like being evil, I don't know if it has to be like that. You know, like I think like somebody that y'all should look into, or whoever's listening, is like 19 Keys. He talks a lot about like how blockchain technology can change and liberate a lot of this.
Oh, he's on the EYL network and stuff.
He's on EYL, but even before he joined the network, like he'll be having like Instagram lives, like talking about this shit, and it's like basically talking about how like technology is going to be able to change the dynamics a lot of this, and that's why it's important for us to learn about like what blockchain technology actually does, so you could create like smart contracts, so where it's like you don't even need, like now you're not necessarily dealing with people. It's like something, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. I think like for me, I think there's hope. Like you even think about like artists, right? Like back in the day, like splits. Like you'll work on a song in the studio, and then it's like you don't get your splits. Like, yo, they got apps for that and shit now. Like, you know what I mean? Where it's like, yo, we finished the song. Yo, we could do this. We could do this on the spot. Or you could just, you know, you produce for somebody, you write for somebody. When you distribute it, you could literally, like, there's the paperwork is all on tech, like online now. You know what I'm saying?
People just gotta do their research.
So I think that's gonna be like hopefully the standard, where it's like, because of technology, we don't have, you know, it frees us from a lot of this bullshit that these labels be doing, you know?
Yeah, hopefully, man. I feel like there's gonna have to be, and it's already happening with like artists. Like there's so many like huge independent artists, but the wave is gonna change, you know. And these record labels have to understand it. I mean, they already do, because like, these major record labels have like these sub labels that are like fake independent, and they want to move with that wave and shit. They do it all the time. Like there's like every month there's like a couple new ones. It's crazy, but it's like people got to also, I feel like, research and be prepared for what can happen. Like I saw recently a clip of Fivio Foreign was talking about
I saw that on the way over here.
that fucking Mace signed him for $5,000 and I think a guaranteed G Herbal feature. And you know, and it's like, damn, bro. It's like I could have signed you, bro. Like even if I had to take to get my money back, maybe like a quick loan, but it's like I could have signed you literally years ago. Still, it's like that's crazy.
You know what the scary part with a lot of this stuff is, like, you know, that's literally you taking advantage of somebody's situation. But that's what they always say is like yo, you never want to make decisions from the point of desperation or the point of need, because when you need something, like when somebody know you need something, then it's like, you know, like it's like, for example, like if you sell them sneakers you got on your feet, you got to pay your phone bill, you got to do whatever. Like, yo, if I know that you got to pay your phone bill, shit, I'm gonna offer you what that phone, you know what I mean, what that phone bill is.
100%.
Like, so it's like, yo, I just feel like it's like, yo, when you hear like these stories, it's like, yo, like I don't even know how you could sleep like doing that type of shit to people, because you literally playing with people's lives. You know what I mean?
Bro, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. And then like a lot of these people don't be business savvy themselves. So, because Fivio spoke about that, but at the same time, he didn't really necessarily trash Mace. At the end, he kind of was like saying like, no, he don't. But you know, Mace is smart about his business and this and that. Kind of like giving props to Mace for doing that. And it's like, I was shocked. I was like,
yo, bro,
do you know your contract though? Like,
I hate that shit,
bro.
I like to me the biggest thing that I hate about like I don't know. To me, I feel like you can do good business. Business don't need to be shiesty. Like it's like, yo, let's be transparent. Let's be in the open. And I think I don't know. I feel like our generation, because of the tools that we have, we're gonna be able to change that shit. Where it's like, yo, like I don't know, like yo, we got an online store. Like say like yo, me and you collaborating on something. We got an online store. It's like yo. But we could pull that shit up right here and look. Like there's no running around trying to go look for the. It's like yo, it's all right here. You know? So yeah, hopefully,
man. And at least I do like that he's speaking about it, and that's like publicly known because that information gets put out there, and then the conversation starts. So people are like, oh, because I think that's been spoken about before, but I don't think he has officially said it out his mouth. Like people was like rumor, like yeah, may sign them, etc. But then him talking about that, like, oh, it was like, yeah, $5,000 and a guaranteed G Herbo feature. Is like, whoa, hold up. Now people are discussing like why that's bad and like that's not okay. But then he says it like, you know, at that time, $5,000 for me was a lot. I thought, but then 2 months later, I blew it all. And it's like you said, people in rash moments make rash decisions. You know, that vulnerability can be taken advantage of by yourself. You might take advantage of your own vulnerability without realizing it, you know, and that's the sad part of it, man. But speaking about also the culture, I want definitely to get your opinion on this. Funk Flex and Conway the Machine from Griselda have been going back and forth, right?
Shit was so corny, man.
Man, that shit was so crazy to me. And you know, we don't even gotta get too in depth with that, but that whole concept, kind of around it, I would say discussing it is more important. That whole thing, because in my opinion, is this right? I found it very ironic, where it's like someone who wants to rep the underground heavy, you know. And I want to get your opinion on this, is like, you want to be underground until you're not, because why are we still wanting to get like that radio play and everything if we're so like underground? Like Conway's like an underground king, like the fucking Griselda guys are like, that's what their shit is, that like they run that whole wave right now, right? But then Conway has been having these moments where he's questioning, I'm not sure if his own ego or his own established like presence in the game or his respect, but then targeting a DJ, specifically Funkmaster Flex, to me was very confusing. And it's like, aren't people considering this industry, at least specifically, not DJs, obviously you still need DJs in my opinion, people debate that shit a lot, but radio DJs, I'm thinking that's a dying industry. Like that's some dinosaur shit. People don't really play the radio, but then he's on some like, yo, like Flex and like these people I think he called him like a gatekeeper, like type of energy. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So like, your opinion, what is it when it comes to this? Because you are definitely someone that is around this type of like, you know, culture. You're a part of it, and you are actually a DJ yourself.
So for me, with the particular situation, I felt like Conway was being like very disrespectful. And I think it got disrespectful because he, like, yo, when you call somebody washed up and you, like, you know what I'm saying? When you start talking like that, it's like, yo, you led with disrespect.
Yeah.
So granted, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes that made him feel like that. I also think, on a larger note, that New York artists have an obsession with being on Hot 97. Like it means
where hip hop lives.
Yeah, like and you know, like granted, yo, that like in the tri-state area, that you know, that does like for some of these artists, like maybe that's not at a Conway level, but somebody who just, you know, they just getting their feet wet. Like, you know, that's the difference between being able to do like a $1,500 show out of state and not doing that. So I get it, because that's like your first step into the game. Like, you know, so I respect it. I think all of these different mediums are important. Yeah. So I don't think, like, when you think about radio, you think about podcasts, like they're just different mediums. Yeah. And all of them, again, we're going back to the word visibility. They all have a different level of visibility, and you got to use it for what it's for. So it's like, yo, if Conway wants to be a household name and wants to be doing certain type of things, maybe he does need to be on, like, he understands I need to be in a certain level of rotation. Yeah. If he's fine where he's at, then he don't need that. I just think the whole situation, they led with disrespect. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same way as like people have asked me from a DJ perspective, yo, how come you ain't on the radio? like out here? Like, how come you haven't done this? How come you haven't done that? How come Jamie 94.5 or Hot 106? And it's like, yo, for me, with one radio station in particular, I've had the opportunity to be in a fold over there. It just wasn't my cup of tea. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like for me, it was like, it doesn't fit my overall goals, but I'm not going to be on social media, oh, fuck them, they're whack. It's just like, yo,
trashing them and shit.
It just didn't fit what I was trying to do. So I think like a lot of people be wanting certain type of looks, but they don't really, like it might not even align with what they trying to do. Like, yo, if you're the champion of the underground, you're this, you're that, then yo, maybe you don't need to be on Hot 97. But I understand if like New York artists, like to them, like they talk about being on Hot 97, like that shit is like a Grammy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, like facts. Like, you know, like if you talk, like you talk this, like, I think like Troy Ave is like a perfect example of this. Like, you know, the perception, like when Troy Ave was really booming, like the perception of him was like, he was like this larger than life artist that's doing all this. And yo, he was really, really successful. But then it's like, yo, you might look at like a artist like say like Dom Kennedy, who was around at the same time, who's like selling merchandise, going on tours all over the country,
nationwide.
You know what I mean? So it's different. Like I feel like that, in my opinion, has kind of plagued New York hip hop a little bit. Yeah, is that they're so focused on Hot 97, where it's like, yo, there's bigger. Right now, it's like, yo, you could go, I don't know, like you see like there's certain artists, they don't even go sit down with them guys anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, they might go Power 105 Breakfast Club. They might 100%. Go to Joe Budden, try to go to Joe Budden podcast, Rory and Maul, and you know. So, but the Funk Flex freestyles is legendary too. So I don't know, man.
It's weird.
It's crazy.
It's so weird because I think they were supposed to do it a freestyle. I think it was supposed to do another one.
They dropped one.
Oh, they dropped a new one.
Like it was like basically they squashed the beef. Like the beef.
They squashed
like,
it, right? You know,
it was like it was a free. He ended up dropping a freestyle with Funk Flex.
There's a song, but not like a video.
Yeah, it's on Funk Flex YouTube. It's just like
a song.
Yeah, a song. I mean, it's like, you know what I mean?
I
like,
get it, but damn, I thought it was gonna be like another. I thought you heard. You said promo.
It almost, to be honest, the way the whole situation played out, like I was like, were they like trolling? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
man, I'm about to tell you this much. If that was the thing,
it didn't work.
It didn't work, bro. I'm sorry, because you guys are in your own lanes, separately respected, and when your own things, like you're the best in your own thing. Like Conway's one of the best rappers right now. Funk Flex always has been a legendary DJ, established GOAT status and radio personality when it comes to radio DJs. Like Funk Flex, like the Funk Flex rants are like it's crazy. Like it's nothing like it really, you know. So yeah, man. I hope that this shit doesn't, you know, keep happening. There always seems to be something with like New York artists and radio DJs. Like recently they had like the whole the drill artist versus what's that young artist young DJ
Drewski
the DJ Drewski out of there, and that whole thing that happened over there in the mayor Eric Adams. So I hope that shit doesn't keep happening, because I feel like it can hinder that New York rap culture, obviously, you know, because you have to, you know, grind and just be proud of where you're from and avoid the drama as much as possible, because there's already a lot of unfortunate shit happening. You know, you got rappers literally in New York getting shot, getting killed, getting arrested. So it's like, why are you going to create now more drama?
You know the example that I always use about New York? Like, New York was Instagram before Instagram. Like, and like what I mean by that was like before there was Instagram, like New York dictated the entire culture. Yeah. Like it was like, this is what music is, this is how we dress. This
the Mecca.
Like, you know what I mean? It was the Mecca of culture for the whole world, right? And I think Instagram, like now it's like, yo, people don't got to go to New York to see that shit no more. So
you can see New York on your phone, if anything.
So Instagram is New York. So
wow.
So how does the Mecca adjust to that? Yeah. When they like, yo, fuck, like we were setting the tone, we setting the trends, we setting the energy, and now people, you know, like it's like niggas in Kansas is like, yo, we don't need to know how New York, like we don't have to go to New York to see how New York niggas is dressing. Yeah. So it's like it took the allure away. Like you think about like, yo, in the 2000s, 50 Cent, Dipset, D-Block, all this shit, Fab, like this was like, bro, everybody wanted to be like them niggas. Like right now, it's like people like, you know, it's almost like, I hate to say it, but it's like people, is people almost looking at them like they corny. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Which is, and to me, I understand what Conway is saying with the whole Griselda, because they brought a wave back to New York when niggas was fronting on New York. So I get it from both.
You see both sides.
I get it.
100%. Oh, I gotta post this little segment on Twitter. This shit gonna go crazy. People debating that shit. They talk about it all the time, like the whole New York, like the history and like, man, especially remember like the whole Trinidad James shit when he was like, fuck, what did the Trinidad James say? He was like,
man, I remember this.
Like something about like in New York, you don't even hear, or all the artists in New York sound like from Atlanta, or something like that. Or the hottest rappers on the radio in New York is Atlanta rappers, some shit like that. That was like 2013, I think.
But at the end of the day, man, it's like you can't deny what New York has done for them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, yo, bro, niggas can say what they want to say, but it's like the wave still does go through. In my opinion, still goes through.
100%, bro. I think it's like inevitable. I'm not gonna lie to you. Shout out to all the New York listeners right now. We have a large fan base in New York. I'm not gonna lie. A large. From what I remember statistically. So shout out to the New York people. Hate us in the comments if you may. It's all right. It's just debates and talks.
Yeah.
Moving on though. Speaking of artists and music, there's new music that dropped, and specifically it was a New York artist that dropped this weekend. Joey Badass tapping into the nostalgia vibe because he did a sequel to 1999, the famous classic mixtape.
Yo, that shit
2000
impacted
album.
Y'all generation like crazy. Like for me, it was like when it came out, I was like, yo, like, yeah, we fucking with this. This is dope. We fuck with Joey Badass. But it's been interesting to see, like, on Twitter and Instagram, like people that's like specifically in your age group, like they're like that shit is like they're Illmatic. Like,
bro,
like
what's that verse? The fucking with the, I think is it cap
the Survivor's Guilt.
Yeah, so tell Bass God don't quit his day job, bro.
Say
people
6 million ways to die, my nigga, choose one. Dudes that come
bro, I'm telling you, we were that shit was crazy. And like looking back at it, it's like strange because like I feel like we don't tap into that type of sound right now and like enjoy it. Like it's hard to. I don't know. I try. Like I fuck with Griselda heavily, but it's not what that was at that time, like that backpack rap, the 1999 Joey Badass. But
I think Joey Badass though is like he took the energy and was influenced by that energy, but also brought a fresh perspective. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? 100%. Like, so I think it's even like going back to the New York thing and Joey Badass. I feel like all this stuff is like, yo, we can be influenced by things, but it's like, yo, bro, like, yeah, I love the 90s, I love the 80s, but bro, we don't want it to sound like that again. Like we love that energy, but it's like if niggas was dropping the same exact shit right now, we're like, yo, we heard that already. Like 100%. we want something new shit. I think it's the same thing that's going on with trap music right now. It's like, yo, we need, you know what I mean? We need, not saying that we not fucking with trap music, but it's like, yo, we've heard this a million times. Like who's gonna be the next person to innovate? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. In that genre. Not to say that it's gonna change all the way, but somebody's gonna come and push it forward.
No, I agree. I feel like right now, people are definitely like more than ever tapping into, I swear, like the dance hall, that whole, obviously the Last, the Burna Boys and the Nigerian artists, and also the Bad Bunny, the Spanish shit, like almost more than ever on an American culture level. Like people are tapping into that like more than anything, really. Like I'm seeing it, really.
Bad Bunny, the biggest artist in the world, period. Period.
Oh yeah.
Period.
Yeah, I think Drake congratulated him 3 days ago on IG. He was like, "You're going crazy," because he beat Drake's record for Spotify streaming, and it's not even, the year's not even done. Like he already, I was like, God damn, bro.
What I realized, like when I was having this conversation with my man, Josh Correa, Professor Correa. He's on Twitter.
I think I probably follow him.
That's my man. Good people. But he was asking me about like my thoughts on Afrobeat and if it's surpassed reggae and where hip hop is going. And we're having this whole conversation, and I go to France for Paris Fashion Week, DJ out there, and to me it was crazy to see how big Afrobeat was there, because like obviously I've DJ'd outside the country, and it's like there's certain hip hop shit that's gonna ring off, but they're not really tapped into like what we're tapped into, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But the Afrobeat shit, like that's when I see, I'm like, oh, this is this is the sound of the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
different.
Yeah, you in a function and there's these fucking white people dancing to Amapiano. Like it's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think right now it's like, you know, I look at hip hop as an attitude. You know what I'm saying? Like hip hop is the attitude. Like yeah, Bad Bunny, J Balvin, Burna Boy, all these artists, they dressing and their attitude is like they hip hop artists, but they making their music. So that's what I think hip hop is.
Yeah, and then people have been addressing it recently, like the whole concept of like hip hop is dying, or like hip hop's like
no way,
like
never
slowing down right now because of the Drake is like that whole album's not hip hop, is doing something else, and like this whole shit. And then you got the Beyonce album that might be like that one song. Imagine that whole album's like that would be crazy. Drake's supposedly on it. They confirmed Drake's on the new Beyonce album this Friday. So it's like people, yeah, I think they're just exaggerating.
You're Dominican, right?
Yeah, 100%.
All right. So watch any Dominican artist, Dembo artist, music video. I mean, they look like they dress like rappers.
100%.
We could pick any country in the fucking world that they making music, and I'll say 8 times out of 10, they're gonna look like rappers.
100%.
Like from the jewelry, you know, all that. So to me, it's like, how could hip hop be dead if it's like they all looking like rappers? They just rapping in their language.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
100%. The most famous Dominican artist right now probably is gonna be El Alfa, but El Alfa is a descendant of the influence of Omega, because literally Alpha and Omega, like it was a play on.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
It was a play on Omega's name and shit, you know.
Wow.
And Omega is like the grandfather of that all, but even he says it himself. He said he took all his style and all his flow from 50 Cent. He literally was friends with 50 Cent. He was copy his style and his drip and everything. He said that's what I would get it from. Like, I dress like 50 Cent. And then now Omega, El Alfa dresses like Omega, and everyone dresses like that type of style. It's the hip hop influence.
So think about this, even like on some Dominican shit, right?
Yeah.
Like the whole Dembo genre is based on one reggae song called Dembo by Shabba Ranks. Like, you know, like yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, think about that shit. But then peel it a little further, is like, I mean, we wouldn't have hip hop if it wasn't for African Americans, Jamaicans, and Puerto Ricans. Like, you know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like this shit is all it's all connected.
100%. You know? I was watching that shit recently. Fat Joe be having them deep convos about the creation of hip hop.
Facts.
And like how the fact like there's so many fucking Puerto Rican and Dominican rappers that you don't even be knowing, like Fabulous, even artists in general, like Brent Faiyaz is Dominican.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, bro, that's how it be. You know, it's real.
The music makes sense now. The music makes sense now.
He's toxic, bro. He's very, very,
that's
you know,
funny.
Very out there, or you know. But yeah, and also new drop. But I haven't listened to the Joey Badass album yet. The new one. Have you guys listened to it yet? The new one, 2000.
Listened to a few tracks.
You heard it yet?
I only heard the Survivor's Guilt, and I was like, yo, this shit is crazy. Like,
that was a side one, yeah.
Like, cause I'll be honest with you, like for me, so with music, like the way I approach it, like obviously you have the stuff that it's like I can't avoid. Like when Drake drop, it's like, oh, Drake, Bad Bunny, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for me, it's like I got the artist. It's like, yo, you got to earn my attention. There's too much music coming out for me to just go listen to
everything and
everybody's full project. So I go through a lot of playlists and like, oh, I like this song, I don't like this song. Then I might hear 3-4 songs from one artist and be like, damn, this shit, this nigga going so crazy. I gotta go listen to the project.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I still have like that sense of like discovery of music. So like actually yesterday, me and Hill, we went to go eat. And he's like, yo, I'm running. I'm like, what you listen to, the Joey Badass? He's like, I'm running through it. I'm like, I've been seeing a lot of people posting it. He's like, yo, he got this one record that's crazy. So we listened to the Survivor's Guilt. I'm like, oh, this shit is hard. So like, that's gonna make me want to go listen to the rest of the project. But off top, it's not like me. I wasn't rushing to go listen to that, but I am interested. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, especially some of the people that I see talking about it. Like, I'm like, okay, like I trust your musical opinion. Like, let me give this a listen. You know?
Yeah, I see a lot of great reviews. I'm definitely gonna do this week. I gotta find time, a reaction to it. I just haven't yet because I was busy listening to my fucking Lil Uzi, one of my favorite artists, Lil Uzi new EP that also dropped this weekend. Red and White EP, 9 tracks, but then I guess he added another one. or something, so it might be 10. I don't know. It's like a whole situation, a whole mess
fucking annoying
with the streaming platforms. Because I think he wanted to make this free. So that's what I remember. He wanted to like make this like a free project, some shit like that. But I'm pretty sure the record label stepped in like they usually do, right?
Yeah.
It's you know, his idea was to drop like a song a day, some shit like that, and then like
that would have been fire though.
Yeah, some shit like that for like a while, like drop a song a day, and he did that for like 2 days, and then I guess someone stepped in, probably the label, and was like, just drop the whole thing. It was like, okay, but then it's only really available the full 9 songs on SoundCloud. But then you go to Apple Music, there's only 5 songs.
At 4 or 5 in one little EP, and then the other ones are singles.
And another ones are singles. It's a whole mess, right?
Mad annoying.
So you basically got to make your own playlist.
You got to make your own type of playlist, right? But if you go on SoundCloud, you'll be able to listen to basically the body of work that he probably wants you to listen to, which is the 9 songs on the Red and White EP. Millions of views on SoundCloud. Millions of this crazy. Like it's bringing it back to like when he first came out, that SoundCloud era. Because people drop on SoundCloud still, but they don't get that type of like viewership on SoundCloud as the people used to. I was like, damn.
Uzi to me was like in that SoundCloud era, like like the god in that, man. Like I remember, it's crazy because this kid works for this dude. He works for the Celtics now doing the photography. Brett Hampton. So he used to go by Carlton Mars, and one day we was outside of some show in Alston, Massachusetts, and like I'm DJing, like fucking with the music. He was like, yo, he's like, I fuck with you. I know whatever. Like he bigging me up. He's like, there's this artist you gotta listen to, Lil Uzi Vert. Got this song called Motorola. That shit is fire.
That shit's hard.
And he played like he sent me that shit. I listened to it on the way home. And ever since then, I'm like, I'm fucking with this nigga. Like, that shit was crazy.
Bro, this is similar to me. Like, I was like an instant Lil Uzi fan. I remember the first song that he basically dropped was like a feature on DJ Carnage song. DJ Carnage, the main producer on the Drake album that everyone's debating, etc. That DJ Carnage sound. Yeah, that DJ, because now he goes by
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight too,
Yo, he's fit, bro. He's a different guy now. He has a whole other name. I forgot.
But
DJ Carnage, that song, I think his biggest song to date is still that song. But he has some other hits though, some house hits, pure house.
What you want?
But what do you want? Right? It was him. It was Lil Uzi, ASAP Ferg, and then that hook stood out to people a lot. Like, not a band with a tent. What do you want? And people are like, who is this?
I remember A-Rab had a crazy remix to that shit too.
Oh wow, I wouldn't put it past him. That'll make perfect sense. But then that song dropped, and then I was like, no, this guy's different. This voice is incredible. Like, what the fuck? And now we have him to this day still impacting, like dropping an EP that's arguably better than a lot of people's albums that dropped this year. That EP is really good. My favorite song on there, the highlight to me is Glock in My Purse. Jesus Christ, bro. Talk about a song where he's literally talking about he has a Glock in his purse, and he's like, but this is not a purse. There's no lip gloss in it. And then he's talking about when he buys his girl a Birkin, he buys himself a Birkin. And at the same time, he goes deep with it where he's like, yo, my father, like, used to call me gay. Like whoa. Like, I didn't even expect that on his third verse. And he's like, look at him now or something. Like, I hope I made him proud. Some shit is like, whoa, this guy tapped into everything. And it's like only Lil Uzi could do this.
People forget, man, like Lil Uzi's from Philly. Like
he said that on that song too. He's like, he's the best. He said he's the best rap out of Philly. I was like, oh.
But like, it's like when you think about it, it's like Philly got some of the best rappers ever. So period. Like niggas be rapping. Siegel. Man, the list can go on.
Oh my God.
The list can go on.
Bro, it's true. And and he, he's from that cloth. He's definitely the most outlier of them all because he's a fucking like pop star at this point. Like even his Rolling Loud outfit was insane. Like he rocked like a Vetmont hoodie, mad big oversized with Vetmont jeans, huge, like ripped, and like a backpack that was like the size of like that whole curtain. Like it was like the size of that curtain, like a big ass backpack, almost like a JanSport, like fuzzy. With like nothing in it, probably. It was just to be like, for the fit and the vibe. And I'm like, only Lil Uzi could do this. And his hair with the spikes and shit.
Yo,
it's crazy.
I saw him at the Middle East basement once. That dude.
Wow.
That dude
was going crazy. I would imagine.
It was like when Love Is Rage came out, right?
Woo!
So this dude was doing like fucking like somersaults on this, like like flips, all that, like, but like he'll do that and then just be rapping perfectly.
He's a small guy.
Yeah,
he's a small guy. He'll bounce around like nothing. Like he's like elastic almost. It's crazy. Yo, but speaking of last topic of the day. Speaking of Boston, because you referenced Boston right now, especially with that venue, because they're basically, was it in
what, Big Night Live?
No, the Middle East. Where's it located? Is it in Boston? No,
that's technically in Cambridge.
Technically in Cambridge, right?
Cambridge, and I know shout out to my man Millie's, like
yeah,
they, you know what I mean, like it's his own place. Like obviously, it's a part of the Massachusetts scene. I'm not gonna speak out of turn. It's part of the Massachusetts scene, part of New England scene.
Yeah.
But Cambridge, like they adamant, like, yo, we our own place. Boston's his own place.
It's that stigma, bro. People are gonna always say like Boston, like over people. I went to the weekend and Chris Brown. I saw the clips. They were like, Boston, bro, you're in Mansfield. You're in Foxborough. This is not Boston, but it's like I get it. Even on the tour date, it said Boston. So I thought he was going to TD Garden. Like until I pulled up, I'm like, oh, we're going to Foxborough. Oh, I thought I was going to TD Garden. Why did it say Boston on the tickets? It's like, holy shit. It's like
marketing.
That marketing, bro, is like they gotta, I guess, they gotta do what they gotta do. But speaking of Boston, the Boston Celtics have been rumored to be interested in getting a trade in from the actual Brooklyn Nets. So they want to acquire Kevin Durant.
Is that for real?
Yeah, they want to acquire the Kevin Durant, and they want to give the Nets Jaylen Brown and someone else. I forgot the other name. Obviously, Jaylen Brown's the name that stands out. Now, Jaylen Brown has responded. Basically, he did a tweet that just said SMH. That's all he said, right? But then it goes back into like the whole topic of discussion that we had earlier with like the whole business, record labels and shit. It's the same with sports. You're just an entity. At the end of the day, in my opinion, he's arguably the best player on that team. Obviously Jason Tatum, but Jaylen Brown is not no bum. Like bro, especially when they both go crazy. Like that duo is unstoppable, bro. Like we saw it. They literally went to the fucking finals. Like the Celtics are, the future is bright. You can argue like they don't even need like maybe a point guard, but they already got it. They got a good trade with from the Pacers. I forgot the young Brogdon. So they got a good young point guard that probably will make the fit right. But now Kevin Durant being a Boston Celtic, very odd like idea. Like in my head it doesn't look right. Business is business, but it's such a weird like.
I mean, I guess who wouldn't want KD though? Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. He is one of the GOATs.
Like, who wouldn't want KD?
He is one of the GOATs. But then like that whole, because he always is he has like a thing with Boston. Like he's literally like said fuck Boston. Like it's like the whole like obviously competitive nature, but the blood is there and it's like so rare. It's almost as if like the craziest thing to me probably would be like LeBron becoming a Celtic. Like that would I would never see that
after being a Laker. Like that's like sacrilege,
bro. That would never happen. But man, I don't know. Who knows?
I thought that shit was fake though.
Nah, it's real. It's real. Yeah, it was confirmed. Like it was like a real deal. I thought it was fake too. I was hoping it was fake, but it was confirmed by more sources. They're still talking into it and looking into it. And especially after Jaylen Brown tweeted that SMH is like indicative of like he's not comfortable. And I think there's rumored, so I don't know if they confirmed it, but he was like the leading post. I don't know what's happening. It's as if like he's not happy with the way that the Celtics organization is treating him, maybe not respecting his name per se, quoting Birdman. But I don't know. I hope that it works out. Business is business, but that's the thing with the NBA on the off season. It's almost more drama than Love and Hip Hop. Like it's so crazy, bro. The off season of the NBA is insane.
But that shit is you gotta think about it. If it wasn't, man, like it's like how long is the season? Like October to June. Couple months. It's like how we gonna make people care about this shit all year round? It's like, like ESPN. Like if you really think about it, right? There's one show on ESPN that's like, okay, this is what happened last night. These are the stats. And then all the other shows is niggas arguing about what they think about those. Like, you know what I mean? Like the game, and then I guess like the post commentary is like all that matters. But then it's like you have a whole news cycle. Like even right now, it's all about speculation. Well, maybe this is gonna happen, and
maybe
news.
that, maybe this, yeah.
And it's like, like shit, I don't know.
It's crazy. And right now, it's like you can tell like that's more indicative, especially. It's more validated that whole idea because of even Stephen A is not there. People are on vacation. Like it's literally like there's nothing to really talk about. There's no really, obviously baseball, but then I don't like baseball, but you know what I'm saying. You know, the main sports that people always discuss in the headlines.
You Dominican, you don't like baseball?
Yeah, bro.
I know that's kind of like.
I don't like baseball. I don't like baseball, man. I got hit with a ball during Little League one day. I called it. I'm done. Like, I'm out of here, you know. I got my trophy, I think, the year prior. I had a little successful little 2-year run, but once I get hurt, I'm like, I don't want to be throwing rocks around here. Like, this is like, I looked at the ball. To this day, I don't even want to play catch. Like, Edwin always wants to play catch. I don't want to play catch, bro. Because why are we playing catch with rocks?
Traumatized.
It's like, I'm traumatized. Like, this is just dangerous, bro. Like, you throw that shit too hard. Like, we could die here. Like, I don't want to do that. I could bounce a ball around, though. Throw a football, other football, you know. But baseball, I'm good. You literally need to wear a fucking leather glove that's almost damn near bulletproof to catch the ball. That's how dangerous that sport is. Now, if you want to catch that shit bare hands, it's up to you. That's that wild shit, you know. But you need, like, when you need a glove. No, I hope not. But when you need gloves,
that's how they used to play before.
Niggas is crazy.
The catchers, like right before the ball got to them, they'll throw dirt up, so then they'll stop the impact and they'll think.
Man,
wait, they'll throw dirt up?
Yeah,
why?
So that the impact won't be as hard on the hands. So the ball will hit the dirt first and then the hands.
Slow down the momentum.
Wait, I don't get it. So what are they throwing dirt at? I don't know why I'm drawing blank.
So like they're picking it up like that.
So the catcher.
But with the glove or with their hand?
No, bare hand.
Like bare hand.
Oh,
like
shit.
The
there's like making like a wall type shit.
What year is this?
Way back.
1930s?
That was before we was pussies.
The 1930s? No, I've heard similar things, yeah, but that's crazy though. But yeah, man, it's a sign of the times right now. The off season, you know, I'm pushing through it. You know, baseball. I mean, no baseball, no basketball, no football. It's a tough time, but I definitely watch. I don't know if you're into MMA. I'll be watching MMA games here and there. The fights.
I feel like that. Like for me, MMA is like, you know, somebody like, yo, I'm gonna invite you to the crib. Like it's like it's just something to do. Like it's like I'm not following that shit, but when I'm watching it, it's like, oh, these niggas is crazy.
Yeah, they had a good one last night, coincidentally. It's UFC in London. Paddy Pimilton. He's like a up and coming star, young guy, but you should watch. Even don't watch. You don't gotta watch the fight. Just watch his like interview at the fight. It's viral. It has like 20 million views on Twitter.
You
bet? No. I can't. I've tried in my past, but I've learned my lessons. You know, I don't want to end up like a couple of people I know. It's like it's serious out here. People are in depth. You know, this is real deal. But with that fighter, he was talking about Paddy Pimilton. For those who don't know, up and coming. I want to say out of London, a London up and coming actual, you know. Or England, for lack of better actual
terms.
Isn't
it Ireland? I think.
Ireland?
Yeah.
Listen,
like,
wherever it is, they're gonna kill me in the comments regardless. So I just know his name. That's, you know, I know his UFC London, and I know that he's gone viral for certain things. But his interview was bigger than the fight, bigger than everything, because he spoke about, I guess, last week, or even maybe a couple days ago, he had a friend who committed suicide. Right. So he spoke about that openly at the actual, you know, in cage post-fight interview, and talking about men and mental health and how, you know, he was like, yo, we need to talk. Like, he had this heavy accent. He's like, we need to talk, man. We need to talk to each other, blah, blah, blah. But I think that he was also dealing with another death. I think a family member died as well, Patty. Something happened. So it was like he was dealing with a lot, right? So like the win. Yeah, so the winning was like even heavier.
Sheesh.
But that's why one of the reasons why I followed that sport, because you get a lot of different personalities within it that are bigger than life. Like the conversations are crazy, and he's mad funny. But then he got deep with that moment. But he's very funny. Like after that, he was like eating like a sandwich in like the post like fight thing, eating a sandwich, getting mad dirty, and like drinking and shit. It was like a whole thing.
He wanted to fight and teabag the guy, like,
yeah,
and then made that speech.
Somebody gotta die, man.
Yeah, he does like what is it, the Modern Warfare teabag? He calls it or something, like when Modern Warfare you could like teabag people and shit.
Oh man, somebody.
But I'm telling you, so it's like dichotomy of that. But that's what made that interview go even more viral, because people were like, hold up, Patty got serious. That's real shit, man. But yeah, man, it's a interesting time right now in culture and sports, but. There we have it, man. The CA Podcast, episode 42. I could be here to talk fucking 5 to 6 hours. I feel like Jay Cudi. There's only a few, like a handful of people that I could just do that with. Like it's crazy. I don't even want to get Cudi on the podcast. 'Cause I feel like it was like I would have to bro. Cudi would talk for like 8 hours. We can't even drop that episode. It's like
man, that dude knows a lot of shit.
Bro, he's a fucking walking encyclopedia. Like it's like that guy knows like everything about fashion.
When you want, when you want to talk about like niggas getting fresh, being out here doing this for a long time, like. I remember when he had Mansion. You know what I mean? We talking on Reservoir.
Early brands, yeah.
No, I'm talking about his store.
Oh, the okay, yes, okay,
you know
okay.
What I'm saying? He had Mansion on Reservoir, Expressions alumni as well.
Like, yep, from that same staff and shit too. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, like original. I mean, like to me, man, that's like to see. I'm not gonna put his business out there.
Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is, I told him, I say, yo, some of the things that you've been able to do, you showing me and everybody else that it's like, yeah, you can make a living doing this shit, but you could do it fly too.
Yeah.
I told him he put the battery in my back. He put the battery in my back.
No, 100%, man. It's that guy. He's incredible. I could, and he knows about all this shit too, like about everything, but. A lot of people don't care about like a lot, and I get it. There's a lot of people who just live their life day to day, and like obviously they're worried about the default things that matter, which is like surviving, day to day. But then there's far few in between that really tap into fully the culture and like know a lot about shit and like are addicted to like information. And I'm one of those people, and I love conversating with likewise individuals, and you're one of them. So I definitely appreciate you sharing your time with us today and stopping by, and we definitely got to get you back on in the future. I think it was definitely a lot of key things spoken about, things that we can look back on, especially the state of Rhode Island. A lot of gems dropped today, and who knows, maybe some controversial shit, especially when it comes to the New York shit.
Hey,
but
it's
honesty.
I got nothing but love for New York City.
Yeah.
I got nothing but love for New York
that's
City.
facts. That's facts. Me too over here. I gotta throw up the rock for them. You know what I'm saying? Not Illuminati. No, not Illuminati.
Shout out to my people in Crown Heights. I got nothing but love for New York City.
You already know, but I appreciate everybody listening and tapping into this week's episode 42. That's right. We'll be back next week, the CA Podcast. Make sure to subscribe and listen to us everywhere that podcasts are available, especially on YouTube. Watch the whole visual we have in here going on, the high quality shit every week per usual. And yeah, appreciate you, Providence, Rhode Island, the world. And there we have it. Sound and Jay again. Love, brother.
You don't love me for my ambition.